Welcome to another episode of Two Dorks. This is episode 10. On this podcast, we aim to share video game buying and selling tips, suggest games to watch out for, give tips on how to fund your collection using your collection, and hopefully change the perception some people in the video game collecting community have of sellers. So, as usual, I have two guests. My guests today are first the bearded diver known as Thomas.
Howdy.
And
spoiler
is yeah. He's the YouTube dumpster diver with a closet full of games, and the man who showed me how to properly wear a GoPro on your head. That was
there you go.
A year and a half ago or so.
Put it on the
cabinet clip. That's the way you do it.
That's the way to go.
You have one of those 360 ones where it can see everywhere?
No, but I've been looking into it because I thought about putting it like under the lid of a dumpster so you could watch like full panoramic view.
We'll keep an eye out for the man for you.
There you go.
Do one of those Twitter live stream things.
All right. So my second guest is Steven from Capmax Gaming, the collector that got sick of high video game prices and switched to toys.
Hi, everybody.
And I am Derek of Two Dorks. So we will start off as we always do with our last noteworthy deal, pick up or purchase.
You're just reading this verbatim from your show plan.
Pretty much. If
we
we don't do that, I'll forget what I'm doing and we'll get way off topic.
No, I look forward to that.
That's okay. We can get way off topic, just not right off the bat.
Okay.
That's usually how my podcast goes. All right, we're going to stick to this guideline. It never happens.
I'm going to look up what that Twitter streaming thing is called. It's going to bug me all night.
Twitter, what?
Twitter streaming thing. That's what I just put into Google.
Oh, okay.
What is it? What is the thing? What is the thing?
Periscope.
Yes.
That's the one.
Thank you.
Yeah. It wasn't originally Twitter as far as I know. They bought it, I think, but
I don't know. I don't know if it's still going. Anyways.
So let's go with Thomas first. What's the last thing you bought?
All right. Since
or picked up for free, since that's your style.
I actually got a small little bundle of junk right here. But since we're on the topic of exclusives, before I post this to Instagram, I got another package in the mail today. A guy who's become a pen pal, I guess, through email has been sending me loose discs. It's just a bunch of random, I guess you'd call these filler titles. What is this? NBA basketball, PS1, just a bunch of junk. I guess I hate to put it that way.
Now it's your junk.
Yeah, now it is my junk. I have a problem with loose disc. Like I've got about 5 or 6 just binders full of this junk, and I don't know why I keep keeping it. But like Connect Sports, there's like 3 copies of it in here. Anyway, so I got that, and let's see. I made a little note. Probably the last thing I really bought, and I made this deal with a guy in Portland, a buddy of mine I made through YouTube. He finds a lot of stuff in Portland. Obviously, that's like a gaming hub in the States down here. Yeah. But he come across this lot, and I won't show it all, but boxed Game Boys. See if the camera can see that. Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Boxed Game Boy.
You?
Yeah, I bought the protectors.
Okay. I was gonna say.
But they're in there complete. Systems look minty fresh. That's probably the only game that was noteworthy. Kirby's Tilt and Tumble Jump.
Yeah.
But all complete, and then this was like a 2-part deal over time. I think we have like an ongoing deal. But then he sent me another lot. It was Super Nintendo with Zelda and typical stuff. And I think altogether I'm in it for like $90. But with this lot, I guess the question here I'm seeing, this lot with the Game Boys also came with Donkey Kong Country 2 or 3, complete in the box. Like everything was there. Nice. And the price I sold it for paid for all this. so all of that stuff is totally free. And let's see, one more lot I just got. I traded a bunch of PA equipment that I got out of a dumpster to a buddy of mine. And it came with his deal. It was a 64 Super Nintendo 64 had the gold controller. Hadn't had that one yet.
The one that says Millennium on it, or just gold?
I think it was just gold.
Millennium, that's rarer, I guess. Okay.
See, I didn't know nothing about it. I was like, hey, did you paint this? He's like, nah, that's the way it is. Works for me. But the games that came with that was Smash Bros, DK64, Diddy Kong Racing, 007, Shadow Empire, and then just regular filler 64 titles. Super Nintendo games were Mario Kart, DK Quest, Super Mario World, All Stars, and stuff like that. Which, yeah, that was a totally free lot. So those are probably my 2 or 3 little noteworthy things I've got going on right now.
I'm just curious if we know this guy from Portland at all. We actually have some friends who live in Portland as well and collect video games too.
This guy, he don't really collect video games. He dumpster dives like I do, and he does
Does he YouTube at all, or
yeah, his name is Danos Dives. I think the name of his channel is Danos Dives. Yeah, maybe.
I think I might have heard you talking before.
Oh yeah, he's become a good friend of mine. We're sending packages back and forth all the time, but he's always coming across killer lots like this, and people sell his stuff stupid cheap out there.
So is there a diving culture now? Is that what's happening?
I think there's in my opinion, there's 2 levels to it. There's the people who do it all the time. Like I do it all the time. There's a can, I'm near it, I've got time, I'm gonna look in it. It's just the way it is. And then there's the people that like to watch the YouTube videos and they do it and then they don't find nothing and they quit. So there's like a small subculture of us that do make money off of it and collect and all that stuff. Like most of my 360 and Wii collection are from a dumpster, and I've got hundreds of titles per system on that, and PS3 too.
Damn.
So there's a small culture, I would say.
Those are from EB Games dumpsters. I
Yeah,
guess.
Well, it's GameStop down here. I don't know what.
Okay, yeah.
GameStop there, yeah. It's EB Games here. They're owned by GameStop.
I think we used to have EB Games down here, and then
Yeah,
it
they
just
used to be
all
2
went to
separate
GameStop.
companies, and then I think GameStop bought them out. And I think EB Games just had a more recognizable name here, so they kept that name.
Nice.
But it's all the same here.
Same idea.
Yeah, and so I had tried my hand at dumpster diving as well after, I can't remember. I had seen a couple of your videos, but I also seen a couple of local people do it. And then I realized after looking it up that it is not legal in this area.
Yeah.
So I probably quit.
You kind of got to weigh that option.
I was wondering whether it's legal in your area or if you know.
So
For me, I know Canada doesn't have a law against it. Ontario doesn't have a law against it, but certain municipalities or little smaller areas have laws against it. So I could go 45 minutes away and it'd be completely legal.
Yeah, that's usually the case down here. I know it is in Pennsylvania where my buddy does it. That's kind of how it is there. Down here, it's kind of if it's not posted with no trespassing.
Yep.
They pretty much don't care. And realistically, if they do care, they'll just tell you to piss off.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's really not a big deal. But
yeah, I would say it's probably not documented anywhere that it's illegal. So as long as there's no signs posted, you're fine.
Yeah.
That's what I found is usually if they're strict on it at all, they're hardcore and it's not allowed at all. Otherwise, it's pretty open.
Now it does become legal if the can is locked. And like I say, I bust the lock off, then it becomes breaking and entering.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, which I've never seen you do.
Nah, I usually leave that off the video.
Yeah.
Don't need evidence of that.
Yeah. All right. So we already talked about you got a good deal. How'd you find it? So guy on Instagram. You're keeping all of it, or you selling some stuff? You already said you sold one game, right? To pay for the lot. Are you keeping everything else so far? Or?
Yeah, I sold one lot, and then there's a handful of this other stuff I've consolidated into another lot that we'll probably talk more about, I guess, when we talk about what we got to sell.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so let's move on to me. I totally forgot what I'd written here. This is why I write things down, because I totally forget what I'm doing. So I picked up a AGS 101 Game Boy Advance with the charger and some games, including Super Mario World, for $25. The 101 itself sells for 60 to 80 bucks around here at Game Swaps and stores. I found it on the Garage Sale app, which is, just one of those Let Go type apps. It just seems to be more popular around here than Let Go. And it actually turned out to be my cousin that was selling it, which is funny. I was near my parents' house over Christmas, and that's when it popped up. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy this. I'm like, wait a second, that name looks familiar. And it was right. So I might have got a better deal because it was family. I don't know, but she's also, well, we don't talk to her father, but she's nice. So maybe I didn't get it. So I'm keeping the system. I'm going to sell all the games, which should be worth about 35 US, Like I said, I bought the whole thing for 25 Canadian. Should be good. I already have an AGS 101, but this one's in a little bit rougher shape, so I'll probably keep it for my son or my wife. Yeah, that is everything. Steven.
Yeah, I got some $5 games from the old Value Village, which is a shock because normally our town is pretty clean. So many retro gaming shops popping up, and everyone's, of course, doing the rounds every day, picking out everything. And I guess they just happen to be out that night. Normally, I can only get there after work.
Game.
Yeah, I know, right? Normally,
What?
And these pretty much everything, at this point.
That's a good one. Road Rash 2? I would buy that.
They put the sticker on the front sticker, which kind of sucks.
Of course.
Yeah. So we got Genesis Road Rash 2, $4.99. Get some Nintendo tapes. You get Data East Battle Chess. I don't know. I don't have it, so I was like, yeah, sure, $5. You know, it's such a system shock to see carts of any kind. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like,
I can look them up, see what they're worth.
Okay. In hindsight, I don't know if maybe I should have bought them, but you know how it is. After work, you're bored. You're like, oh my god, carts! They're not $30 each. Here's Spot. Spot, the video game. That's cool. Spot, 7-Up mascot from the 90s. $5. Cart's a bit. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's just sticker goo. Bandai's Ninja Kid. That's a 5-screw for anyone who cares about that. $4.99 again, and then you know him, you love him, Captain Planet, the Planeteers. The power is yours. $4.99. So that's neat. I don't think I was able to get any of those weird Value Village discounts because I'm in the system. You know, they ask you for your number and then you have points, but the points fluctuate on their own sometimes. It's very strange, and they keep changing their systems anyways. I don't know. Yeah,
they're eliminating that point system. The one where you spend $100, you get 30% off.
Something like that. Yeah,
that's gone now.
Every few months, it seems like they try something different.
Yeah, I hope they bring something back because so far they don't have anything implemented yet. I did like that one because you didn't have to keep a stamp card or anything like that.
I like stamp cards. I wouldn't be surprised if they did an app thing, like download the Value Village app and then we'll scan your thing because that's what 7-Eleven does, and that works well enough. I have a free coffee waiting for me. What else we get here? Okay, so EB Games did their Boxing Week sales, and I picked up honestly, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to keep them or not, but I picked up Nier Automata and Rise of the Tomb Raider for PS4. Both of them. Nier was $30. Rise of the Tomb Raider was $20. I'll probably keep them. They did that thing though, you know, where they open the case up.
Yeah. Look, it's here.
Yeah, it's like it's new, but it sure gives off the stink of a used game, but at new game price. But I mean, they're on sale. But Nier is sealed, but it's like a loose seal. You can hear that. They have some right in there. Listen to that loose seal.
There you go.
But Rise of the Tomb Raider is nice and tight, but there's like it's cut on the top.
You'll have the thumbnail for this.
Nice. And there's like I actually asked him because like the top part of the wrap was ripped, and I was like, if I wanted to return this, am I able to with it like this? And then she puts tape on it, and then she says, just ask for my name if you need to return. I go, all right. You know, these stores though, they get real picky sometimes about that sort of thing. So we'll see. I'll probably keep them. I don't know. I'm not ready for either of those yet. Although I started Nier. I borrowed the disc and I played some of it. Game's alright. It's not great. It's not awful. You know, it's medium to good in my opinion so far.
Most people I thought I was hearing recently that you have to get further in it before you really appreciate the story. But
yeah, it's still pretty early on. It feels like I'm playing a PS2 game, but the soundtrack's pretty good.
I did hear that too. I don't like having to beat a game 3 times to beat a game though. I just don't have time for that.
It's like a gimmick of the series, I think.
Yeah, it's a neat idea.
You sort of beat it, but you didn't really. And they say you have to play through it several times, but I think you change your character that you play as and all this stuff. Anyways, Power of the Primes, Wave 1, that's the latest Transformers line. I picked that up at our local Walmart, which was a pain in the ass because Walmart hates price matching anything. And Toys R Us at the time had a buy one, get one half off deal going on, but their flyer wasn't specific enough. So here's a pro tip: if you're trying to price match at Walmart, just keep asking employees because some will do it and some won't. It's just how it is. It's
Yeah.
kind of sketchy when it comes to price matching there, but you never ask around. Try the customer service department. Eventually, you'll find someone who's cool and down with it. I can read a fucking flyer. Can we swear on this show, or do you want us not?
Go for it.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, no, that was cool. That was a whole bunch of Transformers toys for about $160, which would have been a lot more had I not gotten that buy one get one half off deal. But even so, that's a lot of money. Like we were talking about this before we started, but Transformers are you can spend a whole lot of money there. I may have cut back on the retro gaming, mostly to save on the current going prices, which are more or less outrageous, but the money's still being spent. What can you do? What can you do?
Gotta have a
You're
vice.
getting more bang for your buck now.
It's a variety. I've been seeing a lot of people posting Laserdisc collections on Twitter for whatever reason. I mean, sure, you do you. Like I have a cassette tape collection over there. I was looking into CD soundtracks for a while. I got Nerf guns over there and the board games. Who knows? What are we doing with our lives? I don't know anymore. And the last pickup I was going to mention is I picked up the Hori Fighting Commander PS4/PS3/PC controller from Amazon. That wasn't a deal at all, but I just really wanted it. And pretty good controller. I was using it to play the latest King of Fighters on the PS4. Good controller. And with that, they do these things called add-on items where they're just like, this thing is real cheap, but we won't send it to you because it's so cheap that you'll need to buy a real product for us to send us along with it. So I got a couple more of these turning mech hard toys. They're like kind of like Transformers, but they're kind of ghetto, but they're interesting. And these were like $3. I'm like, Amazon, you got me at the Boxing Week sales. But these got just beat up on the way here. I'm going to put it to the camera.
That's the one you put the picture of. I saw.
Yeah, in the corner here. It looks like a dog chewed it. And this other one here, if anyone cares, I picked up Mechard Golem Titan and Garyon. I don't know. One's like a rock guy. One's a three-headed snake. It's kind of cool. But the packaging on this one, I put it up to the camera again. Is like it looks like it's half open on the side. I'm just like, what the hell? What?
Hey, Amazon's not usually bad for that. They usually do padding, right?
The box was bigger than it needed to be, and there was like 2 air baggies, and they were just slammed, I guess. But anyways, they were $3, so I was like, hey, don't even have the nerve to complain. It's fine. And the controller works fine, even though the box was like the tabs on a fresh box are like flat flush, right? These ones were like bent to the sides.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, because the tape looked like legit, straight up new product tape, but it's like, why were these? I can't imagine just some employee was just bored and just like flicking it, as I was walking down the endless aisles of Amazon. It's like, grab control over those fucking toilet things and just flicking it. It's like, whatever, chucks it into the box and off it goes. But yeah. And just today I picked up a couple toy robots from an 85-year-old woman. I got this. It's kind of like an Optimus, the Optimus Primal rather. That's fine. And I'll be feeling this throughout the episode. This is a Transformers animated Soundwave, and I'm trying to figure out how to get his chest piece to align with the rest of the body, but it's stuck. I don't know. I'll figure that out.
I got this a while ago, but
pickups. Okay, wait, he's getting something.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I got this a while ago, but it made me think of you when I got it, Steven. Yeah. Oh, he's missing a piece, but that's okay. He's missing his gun.
Yeah, they're always missing their guns. You can't be too picky when it comes to used Transformers. You really can't. You'll kill yourself.
It was super cheap. It was like $2 in a bag full of stuff.
I love the loose bots just because they're open. It's there. You have no excuse to not play with it. It's just boom. Here's a couple dollar thing to fiddle with. I'm a-okay with it. Until you get like a ton of them, and then you have no space. And you're like, oh my god,
that would never happen. Oh,
my life is contained. Yeah, I'm sure we're all surrounded by stacks of something or another.
Stacks of junk.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next section, we got what are you selling? So we're starting off with me. What's something that I'm selling? So I keep selling PlayStation RCA AV cables just for $5 each. I sell like at least one every 2 weeks, and I have a whole bunch of them just because they've accumulated. And it's kind of one of those things I just let sit there for a while. And I'm like, I don't want to post this for sale. It's just, you know, you never think it's actually going to sell and you think it's only $5, but just put the ad up and let it sell. And every once in a while, somebody needs one, and it's nice to just sell them. And those people have honestly been the least hassle, with the exception of one that made me meet them at Tim Hortons at a coffee shop. So that's the only one that was really a hassle. Everybody else has been like, when can I pick it up? Okay, I'll come get it. Like everything else I sell, usually higher dollar amount items, people like don't show up, or they back out, or they, you know, suck at emailing and never actually agree on the time. So it was pretty good. Anyway, so then I also sold.
I have a question.
Sorry.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
You have? Do you give your number out to the people ever? Like, are
Which
you
number?
okay with texting? Like your.
Oh yeah, I do. I usually do that just because it's more likely that they're not going to flake out, or that they can get a hold of me. I've actually had, I pretty much always do it, since there was one time where I was messaging a guy and just had a big problem getting to meet up with him when I found out that he only could text when in data, or he could only message when he's in data. He couldn't email or anything like that outside. Sorry, in Wi-Fi. He didn't have a data plan. Yeah. So he actually, there's another guy I've also talked to a lot who doesn't have even texting.
Yeah.
So I usually try to give it out every time, because that way they can call me if they need to, or they message me through, like I usually do through Kijiji app, right? So they can message you through the Kijiji app, and actually that thing's pretty flaky too. So that's another reason to give it out. Is I've had issues where messages don't get delivered.
Yeah, that sucks. Did you say
I give out my cell phone number a lot?
Okay, you met someone to sell a $5 item?
Yeah, it was at a Tim Hortons right around the corner from my house, and I'm like, I just want to get rid of it.
Seems like it's hardly worth the trouble at $5, but I guess if it's at least.
It was right at the grocery store anyway, so I just stop at the grocery store if I need to go get some groceries. Like, what do you need me to get? I'll go. Right.
Yeah, it sounds like you Ontario types do a lot of like hour-long drives to get everywhere. So I'm thinking, like, if you're doing that for like a $5, like, that's
it was really a 3-minute drive away, and there's a grocery store right there, so
that's logical.
Yeah. And Dollarama used to be there too at that time.
Oh, Dollarama.
Make a trip out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I also sold a Wii that I had said a few months ago I got for free off Kijiji, and I think I figured out what the problem with that Wii was. I experienced the issue on my Wii too. Randomly, the Wii just won't power on. I'm pretty sure it's something was wrong with the power adapter, but it works fine 99% of the time. Just every once in a while, if you leave it plugged in for a long time, it will not power on. Unplug the power bar from the wall, or power cord from the wall. Give it a few seconds, plug it back in, it powers on, no problem. So it seems to be a common issue with Wii power adapters, because that one must have had it. I'm guessing that's why the person said it didn't work. The person I got it free from, and then mine also just did it recently, and mine's plugged in 24/7. But I've had it plugged in 24/7 since I got it. Like 6 years ago, and it happened one time now, so I'm not too worried. So I sold that for $50. Just
you still have your Wii plugged in? You still use it?
I got 2 kids.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, if it wasn't for and also it's the best way I see to play GameCube games too. So
yes,
because it's connected through component cables.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've got a Wavebird, and I got a receiver for a second Wavebird on the way. So that'll be.
Have you seen the there's an adapter you can get for the Wii that just lets you use an HDMI cable?
I haven't used it yet. I thought about it, but I also have one of these little things. No, not that one. These are all meant to be hooked up. So component to HDMI.
But they're
sitting here because I keep meaning to hook them up. This is
I got one of those.
This one's for the Dreamcast, VGA to HDMI, and then component cable to HDMI, and then I have another one for N64 with just regular RCA composite to HDMI. So those need to be hooked up at some point, but I just don't want to tear apart that whole AV setup yet.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've got an HDMI splitter hooked up that bypasses like PlayStation HDCP.
Okay, yeah,
which is quite convenient for streaming and all that.
Did you get that off Amazon or somewhere that I could have
like eBay from random Guizhou province, China, or who knows where?
Did they know that it stripped the HDCP?
Probably not even. It's probably just like a copy and paste.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's coincidence that you got one that did.
Yeah, I'm just going up real close. It just says 1x2 HDMI splitter. They all look the same, just this little box. It's good.
Okay. I have splitters. Oh, no, I don't have splitters. Sorry, mine are switchers. Yeah. So I should try getting a splitter and see. Yeah, I've heard usually the cheaper the better on those because it's more likely to not stick with the standard.
It gets pretty warm, but yeah, I've had it for no problems. Actually, every now and then it goes black. Like the screen goes black. That's maybe it's on its last.
Maybe I don't want one of those.
It's rare that it does that, but I have noticed it a couple times. So you just like tap it, it's like and it's back. You're like, yeah.
All right, so I also sold a little R2D2 robot controlled over infrared that I picked up at a garage sale for $5. I sold it for 15 just before Christmas. The guy wanted it for his kid. Then I'm still trying to sell some Wiimotes. Oh, that needs to be updated. I've got one Wiimote left. I've already sold 3 of them.
Wheeling
and then
dealing.
I got a sorry.
Wheeling and dealing. Like, this is already too old. We gotta.
Yeah, I picked up a whole bunch at one time. I didn't even realize how many I had. Actually, I sold 2 more than that because I sold 2 to a friend of mine. So I've sold 5.
Sounds like you and Terry guys have a lot of Wii stuff to pick from.
Well, yeah, but
I
it seems to sell pretty good. The system I think only sold because it was in box, so I think that helped a lot. Everything was there. There was some woman picked it up just before Christmas, probably for kids. It looked like.
Sure.
Then I got a Mario backpack I need to sell. I've got those pink and gold Nike shoes that I'm trying to sell on eBay. I think I got them listed for $150. My wife saw them and thought, these are really cool. If I don't want them, someone else will. And I researched them, and the only thing I could find was a pair that had sold on eBay a few months before. And they're apparently Japanese exclusive. They're actually pretty cool looking. They're white with pink and blue and gold. The stroke, the Nike symbol is gold, and then there's just pink and blue accents on them. They're on eBay now. Go buy them.
You baller.
Get on it.
Yeah, and they're in really good condition too. That's the only reason she really considered them. And Hori's Tekken 6 Xbox 360 wireless arcade stick I want to sell. I picked that up at a game swap a while ago thinking, oh, I'll use this. But after that, I found a really good deal on an X arcade stick. And why the hell would I use a single system arcade stick when I have a double stick that has multi adapters? So yeah, I want to sell that off. Hopefully for more than I paid for it. If not, I'll sell it for the $20 I paid for it at a game swap at the very end of the day. And then, yeah, I need to list a bunch of stuff because I'm lazy and don't have time. So moving on to Steven next. What's something you're selling?
Stuff I'm selling. I've got like a stack of random DVDs and Blu-rays, but that's not really exciting. I've got speaking of random collections again.
I'm curious. Are you selling them locally or are you selling them on eBay or something?
No, I only sell local. I don't.
Okay.
I've never really gotten into the eBay online scene. Seems like too much work. I'm just like, meh, busy adult lifestyle. But I've got like a bunch of. I'm pointing for anyone listening to this audio is that I'm pointing to behind me. There's stacks of DVDs on these shelves, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't even watched some of these, and I should really watch them. And if they suck, I don't need them, and I can get rid of them, and I have more space for everything else. So that's cool. So I'm working on that. I guess you call it the movie backlog. Aside from that, it's just downsizing random games that are like ridiculously expensive now, just because I've had them for so long. Like before we started, I was just pointing out that just on the couch here for literally weeks, I've had R-Type 3 for the Super Nintendo. I can sell it. I think it's like a $200 game or something stupid like that. So I mean, if anyone wants R-Type 3, it's in really good shape, and it's like, yeah, you can have it. It's cool. I like R-Type, but I like $200 more.
Looks like loose. It's 115 American, but American.
Sure.
A complete, it's definitely over.
Figure something out. And I had Pocky and Rocky, same story. It's just there because I had local online ads. No bites, but they were out for taking pictures for the online ads. That's
you don't
for
use
local
for selling,
online ads, I should say. I always meet in person. Just here's the game, here's the cash, boom, done.
Okay.
No need to wait for eBay fees or whatnots.
Do you do Facebook selling or only like Kijiji or something?
We have a site here called Used Victoria. And,
okay.
Yeah. Just put the pictures up, description, boom. Hopefully done.
You haven't tried those like Garage Sale and Let It Go and What was the other one?
Yeah.
One was called Carousel.
No, I have Let Go installed, and all it does is just leave me those annoying push notifications.
Yeah.
But I never actually use them. It's like, whatever. I'm not big on the reseller scene. I kind of hate the whole thing. I feel like it's kind of ruining retro gaming as we knew it. It feels like no one even plays the games anymore. My retro station over here is pretty dusty at this point. I've got the big CRT TV and the system switcher and all that, but it's just like, I'm definitely more doing the modern and PC gaming these days. So the retro stuff just kind of, it's there. But as we were saying, like, it stacks, man. Everything just gets in stacks, and it's just, I'll just leave it. I don't care. I'll maybe eat a corn dog and watch YouTube or something. That's fine.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Stack it higher. Just get more shells.
All in due time. Yeah.
There's still ceiling space I can see there.
Yeah, I'm just thinking just hang them down.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Hard Type 3 Pocket and Rocky games I just picked out of the collection that I figure are worth big bucks. And I was recently looking at my complete in box Wild Guns for the Super Nintendo. That's a Natsume title. That means it's good. And that's like $600 now or something. So if anyone wants to give me $600, I got your Wild
You need to get on eBay because that's where you're going to get an audience wide enough to sell something like that.
Fast.
Yeah, we do have some local whales in town. And they've bought a few things from me before, which is pretty awesome. Once again, like I'm in no rush to sell them because they are still like, part of the collection, and it hurts me deep down to get rid of any of them.
No,
but like there's a trip to Japan I've been trying to save for, and I don't because I keep buying things instead.
Yeah, I keep hearing about this trip to
Japan. Yeah. It's so expensive. The latest Retro Fandango podcast came out, and Kevin was going on about how horrible the airport experience is, and I'm like, I just signed up for Amazon Japan. I can just buy things on the internet, just taka, send.
It's like you're there.
Information, and boom, it comes to me. It's like, why? I'm like, do we even need to travel anymore? We're talking to people over the interwebs, and it's like,
get some VR, and you can walk around virtually there.
Mm-hmm. There's an app for that on the Wii U. You can just move your gamepad around like an idiot. And you're like, oh, I can see every corner. Much like those cameras we were talking about that do the 360.
Yeah.
And I love those because those YouTube videos have that feature where you can just like drag your mouse and you can just look at every corner. And I think that's really neat. I kind of wanted to buy one of those, but I didn't.
I'm on the fence too.
Yeah, that's his YouTube's problem though. It's such a kerfuffle YouTube these days. Everyone's complaining, oh, my videos got demonetized and it's not even uploaded yet and it's already been deemed unworthy of this and that. Just, so much drama and politics these days and everything. It's just so tiring. Tiring.
I have never bothered to, well, not never. I have for a long time, I haven't bothered to put ads on my videos at all. It's not even worth it.
I'm okay with it if my videos are that popular. I've got some that are really just shot out. I did this video on
subscribers or viewers, so
there you go. Yeah. I did a video on the Wii U gamepad. Mine was having an issue, and I did a video about it. And that video is like crazy popular. I'll always see random comments from people. It's to the point now where they don't even comment to me; they're just commenting to the comment section. That's a really good feeling for a smaller YouTube channel. Like, I'm too big for this comment section, but you guys can just have fun.
Y'all hash it out.
I'm just gonna be leaning back like, yeah.
Now so you're not wearing pants.
Shorts. Did the mouse leave its house? You'd know. You'd hear the thump.
We're good.
Feel me? Anyways. That's not really selling much of anything, but just if I find a game in my collection and it doesn't have any real value to me personally on a sentimental value, then if I can get $600 for Wild Guns.
How long ago do you think you bought those ones, like Wild Guns, Pocket Rocky, and R-Type 3?
I think the receipt for Wild Guns was like $8. So
Jeez.
That long ago. That basically when they were last gen.
Okay.
So that was a good time, like when the PlayStation and I guess N64 were out, and like I remember the time like we didn't even know what memory cards were yet. My brother and I once we rented the PlayStation and Resident Evil 2 because we heard good things about this Resident Evil 2 game, and we get it home playing. It's like, oh my god, but I'm trying to save it. It won't let me save. What is a memory card? I have no idea what that is. pro gamer that I was, though, I was able to beat the game without a memory card, which is pretty impressive because I'm like, that game is very dated and not fun to play, and I can't use any ammo because if I do, I run out. Early Steven, though,
game I'll never play.
Yeah, he must have been a killer at games. Yeah, man, those are the
Young
days.
Steven.
Yeah. Nowadays, like, forget it. Like, don't even start retro gaming if you're not. It's like, ugh, I couldn't imagine crazy kids in your like. Could you imagine paying $600 for a game? Like, what?
No,
What's wrong with these people? Shame on you.
That's a house payment, man.
I know. That's the worst part. It's like, I'm not making that kind of money, but there are people who are. Sons of bitches. I'm so upset.
I mean, I could understand some of the prices if the game was actually good, but like most of these games are that high. It's like I'm never like most of the stuff I've got. I'm never gonna play it. Don't even care to touch it.
Those are good games. R-Type 3's first level kind of sucks, though. It bugs me.
Oh,
that's the weird Mode 7 thing, and you don't know it's just it's very abstract level for a shmup, and especially at level 1. Normally, you'd expect it to be, calm seas, so to speak.
Yeah.
So you're just flying your ship around, whatever, and
bring you into
everything makes sense. Yeah. But it's kind of a mess right from the get go. They're doing the Mode 7, the levels just spinning around. Yeah. It's like Axley. You guys ever play Axley?
Nope.
The whole game is just like this weird 3D-esque effect, and it just looks like a mess. It helps it stand out. I mean, I get it. There were so many shmups back then. We have all seen the cover to Phalanx with the weird old guy. Like, the game is completely average, but that cover, though, it's just because of the ad. The ad in magazines is just like weird old guy, and I guess maybe that was popular enough to make that the game's cover, sticker cover. Whatever.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, Thomas, how about you? What are you selling?
Junk and stuff and things. I've got to post here in just a little bit. I don't know if I mentioned in pickups, but somebody mailed me a Game Boy lot. It was a Game Boy and 5 games, which all the games were typical Mario Golf, Jack Nicklaus Golf, whatever it was, Tetris, and other junk. But the only game I needed, it was the original fat gray Game Boy or whatever. And the only game I needed was Zelda, one of them. I'm not really up to date on my Zeldas. I know to keep them and collect them, but which one's which? Link to the Past, whatever, Breath of the Wild, so on and so forth.
Link's Awakening, right? Link's Awakening is that one.
It is Link's Awakening, isn't it?
So, yeah.
Probably.
But I know I needed it. Never going to play it. It'll go right there in the stack like we're talking. But
that's a good game, though.
I need to play it. I know I do.
I really do. I know.
Especially because I
my
love
problem is length of time.
I love all the old Pokemon games. Like I still play Red, Blue, and Yellow like it's going out of style. Even Gold and Silver and all that good stuff, Crystal. But I'm gonna keep Zelda and post the system and 4 games for $35 because I could probably get more, but the way I look at it, I got what I needed. Just bounce the rest for a few dollars in pocket change.
Yeah.
And then back to the previous topic, as far as getting all the extra stuff I get in my lots, like I'm big about buying. I'll buy a big lot, even if I've got 95% of it, and I just need one game, because I like to do these grab all lots, so I call it. And since all this stuff was free, I dug around in my collection and I put a lot together of a 64, a GameCube, a PS3, which PS3 didn't work. I actually found it in the trash in one of the videos. Sega Gen and a 360 I pulled out of a dumpster. And then I threw in some games, DK64, GoldenEye, Shadow Empire, Mario 64, Smash Brothers, WCW game, Pac-Man and Sonic Spinball and the the Sega Gen, and then a handful of junky Game Boy games, and sold that for $100, which I think it's like, if you did the math, it could equal up to about 180 in the current market down here. But I'm all about that fast dollar. Like I'm not trying to make the long buck.
Yeah. Yeah, the long buck's all about parting it out and selling it slow, one by one.
And I mean,
maximizing profit on everyone, but then you got other shit in your house.
Yes. Which, don't get me wrong, like lots like that, I'm totally fine just bouncing off real quick because like that's pure profit to me. I don't have anything in that, honestly. But like like the Pocky and Rocky and all that stuff. You know, I know when I've got a good game and it should go separately. So, but most of that stuff just goes to the shelf anyway. So until the video game market crashes and we can't even get rid of it anymore, that's what I'm waiting on. But that was sold that on Craigslist, and it was one of those situations where the guy wouldn't give me his number, but when I met him in person, he tried to give me the whole sap story, like, yeah, you know, I'm just getting into games and stuff like that. Guy, I see all your ads online. You're a reseller. And I've literally got like 50 emails from him through the years because I've dealt a lot on Craigslist of him trying to like, hey, would you sell me this copy of Super Smash? Or hey, would you sell me Conkers? Or hey, would you sell me, you know, just trying to nitpick certain lots. I'm like, guy, it's $100. You want it or you don't.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like people like that.
No, I'm not a big fan of resellers, even though we are resellers to a degree.
Different kind of resellers. Yeah.
Like I'm not living on the stuff. It's all play money to me. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Me too.
But that's all I've got going on.
Cool. All right. The next section is our tip corner. So this is where we give you know, buying and selling tips. Start off with Steven. What do you got to share?
I'm gonna refer to the show plan.
You were sleeping.
No, I'm feeling with this toy. I can't figure out how to get this one chess piece figured out. Anyways, I had to pull the legs off because they were on backwards because you can do that sometimes. You can put them back on their ball joints. Good times. Okay. Tip corner. What did I write here? Pay what you want to pay. Yeah. See, that's what we're talking about. It's like people are just paying these ridiculous amounts. I think that's crazy talk. I mean, if you really want the game, but does anyone really want to pay hundreds of dollars for something? I sure don't. No. I don't know. Like, I agree that the my retro gaming hype is way down these days. There's so many good games, guys. Breath of the Wild, oh my god. Dragon Quest Builders got the PS4. We're up to 4. But I don't know. Like, just people are overpaying for everything, and I don't understand who started this. It was like the game price guide. There's like this holy Bible that some random person just said, this game is now $30. And then suddenly everyone has to agree that it's $30. Like, who set these prices?
eBay.
Who made these prices? I want to know, because I think maybe that's bullshit. Maybe it's worth that much. And then it's like... don't
argue that argument too much until you sell your $600 game.
Yeah, true. But at least those are good games. And I'll mention that in the ad. Like, actually good games for $600. Dude, I was looking up, here's another one I'm trying to sell. Captain America and the Avengers for the original Game Boy. It's like $80 apparently, and it's awful. I don't know if I could ever convince anyone to pay that much for it. But, you know, like, if that's something that you're going to pay me $80 for, you can have it. Not a good game, but...
See, I find games like that where it's got to be an uncommon game, because it's not a good game, but it's got to be uncommon and someone's trying to complete a collection, and that's why they're willing to pay.
Yeah, well, especially that one right now because of the whole Marvel movie verse thing happening.
Yeah, that's true.
I can see that being appealing. But like the 16-bit game is decent.
Price on that game seems to have gone up.
On the Game Boy one?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking at the original, so I'm tracking back all time that they have on price charting, but it doesn't have any stats at all for August 2016. Then all of a sudden, September 2016, it's at $35. Then
that's
October,
when some YouTuber played it on their channel, and all the kids are like, oh,
that's what I'm wondering.
Like that.
Hey,
that's loose.
AVGN showed out about it, and it became fun.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at, what was it, like Friday? No, Nightmare on Elm Street is apparently really expensive. I'm like, damn it, I don't have that, but I want it. But it's not like crazy collector price. It wasn't that much, but it was. I think I saw it for $50 at one of our local shops. I was like, no, that. Pay what you want to pay, and that wasn't what I wanted to pay. Buy for yourself, not what other people want. This is something I've been dealing with and trying to get over. You know, when you hear people, okay, like check it out, like say. I'm tweeting about Transformers again. Look, there he goes again. And then you're like, look at this Transformer. I'm going to buy it just to show that guy that keeps tweeting and be like, yeah, look what I have and you don't have it. Yeah. Problem with that is that you still spent money on a thing you didn't necessarily want for yourself. And I know the show talks about like selling stuff again online or whatever, but just like if you're actually trying to collect stuff, like collect what you want, not what you just know someone else likes. Because that's something I've done before in the past. And just to be like, hey, I got this thing that you like, and it's like, but do I like it?
Yeah, or this game you said is good, but am I gonna like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this for me though? Am I really buying it for me? Once again, assuming the game has little to no resale values, because at the end of the day, it's just, we'll say $10 less that you have in your wallet, and then it all adds up. That's definitely a true.
Very quick.
Mm-hmm. Here's one I've been hearing once again, like a lot of the Ontario folks that I've heard in podcasts will say is, so I was gonna sell someone a Super Nintendo, and I waited at Tim Hortons for 45 minutes, and then they weren't there. I'm like, really? You'd wait 45 minutes for a stranger that might come by to buy your thing? Like, don't wait that long. What's wrong with you people? How much free time do you have? Like, come on, show some self-respect.
I definitely did something like that one time, but that was kind of, I was pissed off at the guy too.
Well,
'cause he
yeah,
made me wait.
obviously. Yeah. I was going to be pissed off if you're waiting at a place for 45 minutes or something.
I waited for I think 40 minutes, and then I
That's
tracked
crazy.
him down on Facebook and his brother on BBM and contacted them, found their home phone number. Yeah, I think I told that story one time before. Eventually, I got a hold of him, and it was a miscommunication. His iPad sent the email on the wrong day.
Yeah. I mean, if
I'll
you're
meet
okay
you
with
tomorrow, don't say tomorrow in emails either, because if it gets
Yeah.
delayed, you're fucked.
always add the dates.
Yeah,
If you
At
say,
least say
if you say
Monday,
12, make sure it's like
Tuesday.
noon or midnight. You know,
yeah, that too.
you never know.
AM, PM. Yep.
Yeah, people work weird hours, especially at noon. I always say noon hour, because like if you say 12, someone might think nighttime. Someone might think.
Yep. I said 12 noon just to be clear.
Yeah, that's always good. Be picky. If you are willing to spend big bucks for a thing, and there's a problem with it, sticker peeled up. Once again, thinking of like carts, or there's like weird residue on things, and you just don't feel right about it. Just wait for the next one. Shit. Think you found it, but maybe it's gonna bug you in like an OCD way. Maybe you're just not gonna feel right about this purchase. Well, wait for the next one. Shit, there's always more. Be patient. And then, as I was just saying before we started, that old socks are great for dusting. I got these old socks. They're way too small for me now, but man, they're good for dust. Assuming they're clean, of course. Just put that in the wash. And Q-tips might be good for cleaning games. Maybe use the Q-tip ones. That's fine. Just puts that extra shine on her.
So no acetone, right?
There you go. Ooh.
I've got games that have been bubbled up from people cleaning before.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think the heat got to it. No, you tried to scrub it with acetone, kid.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's not good.
It even says on the back, do not clean with
It says with alcohol even.
yeah, benzene, thinner alcohol. I think that's more for because they're worried kids might be doing it at the time. Then they thought they'd swallow it or something.
I think when I had Chris Roberts on, he was thinking maybe it had to do with them trying to sell their cleaning kits too.
Fair enough.
No. Fun to collect. You know what I
Yeah.
found once? I was walking random street, downtown neighborhood. There was a box. I looked in the box, and there was a Game Boy printer, a Game Boy, and the Game Boy printer paper. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm taking that. Thanks." It's
Nice.
just weird. It's just like, why is this here? I'll take it. Thank you. It was obviously out for anyone to take, and it's just very random.
When you said, "Guess what I saw downtown," I was gonna say hobo, but I didn't want to get you started.
No, don't get me started.
Okay, so
Roberts.
moving on to me.
I could do it on my own podcast. I'll easily get like Chris Roberts on, and we can
Hobo
talk
cast.
hobos all night.
No, we're not doing that. We're not going there. Okay, so something I've been noticing a couple times now is that's worked out for me. Even when they say that the game is pending sale or you weren't the first person to contact them, someone else is going to pick it up. Remember to tell them to contact you if their sale falls through. I've had several times where the person that they're waiting on doesn't show up, and they email you the next day or maybe 2 days later, or even that same day, and saying, "Look, they canceled on me." And you be the person that they can count on. Be polite and all those other tips we given before, but say like, just let me know if it falls through. I think I've sent 3 of those emails today.
That's a bit pushy. But I guess it worked.
It works. You just say it politely. Like I'd bring up one of mine, but I just don't want to have to make you wait for it. So you can hear the wording. I kind of write emails to customers all day for a job, so I kind of
There you go. You're just keeping in practice.
yeah. I said like, thank you for replying anyway. Feel free to contact me if the sale falls through.
Mhm.
Not too pushy, right?
Probably not.
Would you delete my email or would you hold on to it?
Oh, as flaky as people are, it's never bad to have options waiting in the wing.
That's exactly it. Yeah. All right. And Thomas, what's your tip if you got one?
Oh, I've got a whole truckload for you here. The biggest.
Could have said dumpster load.
Yeah,
I got,
dump truck.
got the whole.
Although you're
for
with your scrapping, maybe truckload is appropriate too.
I would assume this would work for toys too, which you could chime in because I'm sure you've done this. But the biggest way I get games, I know I talk about it on my channel, I think I do anyway, is talking to people I know, even new people. Every time I'm like, hey, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I gotta hustle you real quick. And they're like, what? I'm like, do you got any games? Like, I do. It's like drugs.
You're selling a pyramid scheme.
I mean, it's literally like drugs. I'm like, hey, you got some of those games, you know? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like Xbox? I'm like, dude, Xbox to the 80s. I don't care what it is. What do you got? I'll buy it. And 9 times out of 10, people show up with stuff like this. I got some visual aids. You'll like this. This right here has been in this case since brand new. The guy's like, my wife bought it for me for Christmas. Never played it. Didn't want the crap. Was going to throw it away about 30 times over the years. And then I show up like, 25 years later, or 30 years later, I guess. And he's like, dude, you can have it. And it's Game Boy games, like manuals, everything with this Game Boy's in there. Even the little battery pack.
Nice.
It's got like the dust from that thing all caking it. And then had another guy bring me this, which is a complete box Game Boy.
Nice.
And those are free. Like, just here, you can have them.
When you do that, do you make it clear to the people that you might sell it later?
No.
Would you, if it was something you definitely were going to sell? Like, let's say you already had a complete in box Game Boy. Would you be like, I might use this. I might use this to trade for something that I need if it's something I already have, for example.
Usually my rule of thumb is if you give it to me for free, I'm going to keep it.
I just worry about friends or family following up saying, "Oh, how'd you like that? Whatever."
Oh, true. Usually, if it's free, I keep it, and that's about the way it is for most things. But if I buy it, I kind of, which I guess it could be scummy looking at it now, I kind of call it fair game. Like if I paid you for it, then I can do, which that's the way I look at it. And then probably the most interesting thing I've got, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not an Atari guy by any means, but I got this, the Star Raiders, and it's complete in the box. It's even got the controller in it and everything. The guy never opened this. He was like, I started buying these back, when they were 50 cents in the 50-cent bin. I think this says $19. I don't know what year this would have been, but
for the 2600. Right?
Yeah, but this was like a variant of some kind. There's like one version of it that was all over eBay, and then this version wasn't there, which was weird to me. But he brought that to me out of his stacks of junk, and then. What is this? Baseball.
The stadium events of Atari games, right there.
Hey, I tell you what, I wish somebody'd bring me stadium events. It'd be sold so fast. I hate to be that way.
You'd paying for your house.
Yeah.
I would bounce it. I wouldn't keep on to it. But that's my first tip is ask everybody you come in contact with. It don't matter who it is. I even asked 2 or 3 times to different people. Going on to what Steven said about being picky. There, as you know, you've got a hit list of games that I know you want or toys, and you look for them. Obviously, what we all do. For some reason, I wanted Moonwalker. Like I wanted Moonwalker so bad I couldn't stand it, and I wasn't willing to pay the price for it. Somebody on Instagram posted it, and I'm like, what do you want? And he's like, $40, and there was like a few other games with it, and I'm like, the other games will offset the price. Cool. I'm fine with that. I didn't want it because the label was junk.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the label's junk, but the price, $40 plus the other games that were with it, I was like, it's worth it. I think Zombies Ate My Neighbors or something like that was in there. And I'm like, sweet. And then I get the deal, and this was all it was. It was just Moonwalker. So I paid $40 for a junky copy of Moonwalker. And then...
It's a fun game, though. It's weird. Weird in the best way.
It is weird in the best way. And then
gotta play it.
You do need to play it.
Yeah. Did I hear it's co-op too? 2 players
it might be. I don't ever 2-player with Genesis. But then, like,
you can open doors and windows. That's a big pro tip.
I just like when everybody dances and dies.
It's fun.
But the biggest thing I have to tell people about getting into, even with the way this market is right now, is you gotta calm down when you see deals. Like just because, like this was one I've wanted the Zelda set for GameCube for so long. Somebody posted it on OfferUp and it was like $180. I was like, yeah, gonna go get it. Can't wait. Gotta go get it. And then for some reason something happened and it just didn't work out, which was good because it turned out like in the next year to come, and you should be able to see the price tag on this one, maybe $3.20 or what was that? Yeah, 25 cents.
Pretty good
for each of them.
Oh, nice.
So the GameCube set for Zelda for $3 a piece, which the prices on them, that's not bad.
Pretty good.
And it's all about patience. Like pay, like you said, pay what you want to pay. Like you don't have to have that game that day just because you saw it for $30. Like they didn't make. I mean, they made more than one. On most occasions, they made more than one. Like don't turn down a good deal if you really see one. But same time, like you don't have to pay $45 for Ocarina of Time because you might come across it in the thrift store for $2. And then to kind of counterbalance that exact same statement with paying too much, I bought another lot off Instagram because my heart got the best of me. And it was PS2 games, which you might have saw, Derek. I don't know if you saw post. It was We Love Katamari, Nightmare Before Christmas, Kingdom of Hearts 1 and 2, Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4, Dark Cloud, Mega Man X7, X8.
When you have big photos, like big lots, you don't usually get a big lot of games. But when you do, I think I sometimes confuse them with that zombie guy on Instagram because he does big photos like that all the time. So when I see them, sometimes I just picture his or picture it being him. So yeah, I probably confused it. He's in California. He picks up good big lots of stuff.
I need to follow him. He wants to sell me something. But
don't give away your whales.
Oh yeah, it was there you go. Yep. It was four Mega Man games, Anniversary, X Collections, X8 and 7. Disgaea. And I paid $195 for it off Instagram, sight unseen, which you probably know the guy. I'll tell you offline. I don't want to trash people. Yeah, they didn't come in the best condition to my standards for $195, but that's my heart getting the best of me because I wanted the Kingdom stuff. I wanted Mega Man. I'm a Silent Hill fan. I needed it. And I just clumped the rest of the stuff in there though. Which I mean the value's there, but it's kind of not there. But that's my biggest thing. Just calm down and wait. You don't need it right now. You don't need all this stuff to sit in the corner if you're not going to play it.
Yeah, I'm sure we all have so much crap already. It's not fair to call it crap. I hate when don't call your collections crap. That's another pro tip. You wanted it.
Well,
you bought it.
Yeah, it's
appreciate it.
Collectively, it's crap in that it takes up space and it's something you haven't played.
Yeah. We made our choices. We should appreciate and enjoy them.
I count it as an investment. And realistically, my biggest rule of thumb nowadays is don't buy disc games in cases that don't have manuals. Don't buy junky labels. I mean, if they're expensive games at a cheap price, buy them, obviously. But don't buy cheap games with junky labels. And, don't pay too much for them. Like, I really don't like paying over like $10 for about anything.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to force myself to, even when I do take that leap of buying a bit expensive game. Like, I mean, $40 is expensive for me to buy a game. When I do that, I need to make sure that I put the time into getting my joy out of that damn game. Like I just picked up Wario, Game & Wario for Wii U. Because I had seen friends of mine play it, Miles and Catherine, a flock of nerds on YouTube, and it looks like a fun game. But now I need to make sure I get some friends over and we play that damn game because $40 for me is, a lot to spend on one game when I'm working my ass off to get $5 out of a PlayStation AV cable, right?
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, so I gotta. That's one I gotta really play when it comes in. Play the shit out of it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I can think of 3 more in my collection now that I did the same thing with, where I watch for a deal on eBay. and I'm watching. 6 months later, there's no deals come up. Then all of a sudden, one comes up that's maybe $5 cheaper than I've been seeing,
Bam.
and I jump on it because I'm like, that's the cheapest I've seen.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's fucking eBay. That's the problem.
I have another pro tip. Don't feel bad about playing games. Like,
Exactly.
you know that feeling where it's like, oh, I've got so many games in my backlog, but I just want to keep playing. Nah, that's fine. Just keep playing whatever you want to play.
That's
By
true, yeah.
gum, I'll put another 1,000 hours into Team Fortress 2 if I wanted. God damn it. Or whatever amount it was at. But, it's like, don't feel guilty just because you wanted to play something that you felt, I got so many other things. Nah, just do what you want to do, son.
I'm all about the current generation.
That's why I played PUBG last night, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, with my cousin. Because it was like, I want to play something fun, and I love playing multiplayer, so let's get on and play this.
I still haven't picked that one up yet.
It's fun. It's really fun.
Every other game is doing that Battlegrounds routine now, where you fly into a thing and then
it's not the same as far as I've seen with the Fortnite mod or Fortnite free version that does it. It's not the same. It's too cartoony and silly, and you can also build walls when people are shooting you. It's not the same thing. It doesn't get your heart going like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds does. Like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds makes you feel like someone's fucking hunting you. Like literally,
it's got a good look to it. It feels good. It looks scary though. Like where the kids are too good, and I will not last into PUBG because I've watched people stream it, and they'll just be lying there, and then you hear like a pep, and then they just kind of run around trying to figure out where the guns are coming from, and then it's just like boom, headshot, one shot from the middle of nowhere, and then they're dead.
It happens. It definitely happens. But sometimes you're the guy who gets the headshot.
More anxiety based driven games. Yay. I want to play a game I feel hunted and I'm worried about the whole time.
I kind of do. I don't have it in real life, as we said earlier, unlike you. Someone breaks into your door.
It makes you wonder what we're looking for in the game experience.
It's the real life scenario there.
Yeah, exactly. See, I don't get to live it. Paintball was a similar experience for me when I played paintball a couple years ago. It was a way to, act like you're being hunted and hunting people without actually hurting anybody. And also got me exercise, which I don't bother doing anymore.
There you go. Yeah. That's another good one. Get a lot of exercise. Get some fresh air.
Stand up and walk in place while you play. There you go.
Yeah.
Get that VR.
I'm not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Now, if I'll play VR because I got VR now, so that's the closest thing. It's kind of like the old Wii days when you play Wii for hours and your arms would get all sore. Wii bowling, Wii boxing. Yeah. The
batteries die. I hate those batteries. Every time someone mentions Wii, I think Wiimote batteries dying.
They do suck. I hate the Wiimote. When you power the system off, the Wii remote's still always communicating or something, and the batteries just fucking die.
I hate that. But my Wii U Pro controller, that battery is excellent. Yeah, the gamepad controller battery is awful.
I don't find it that bad, but maybe it's just me. I also have a spare battery for mine. I'm just waiting to put in it and haven't had to yet.
Yes.
All right. So speaking of off topic, we'll take a quick break.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. This is VG Collectaholic, co-host of the Masters of Unlocking video game podcast. Now I wanted to take just a minute and let you know about one of my personal favorite gaming and geekery podcasts. That's Josh Leslie's Frantic Thoughts. Frantic Thoughts is a weekly one-man show that features an interesting personal perspective on video games, movies, and random geek culture, three of my favorite things. Frantic Thoughts is a funny and refreshing bite-sized podcast that typically runs about a half an hour, a perfect listen for my midweek morning commute. Check out Frantic Thoughts on iTunes, Podbean, or wherever you get your podcasting fix. You won't regret it.
And we're back. Now we're moving into the next section, story time. So this is where we just share any stories we got, lessons learned, failures, anything like that. So starting off with me. So I'm going to start off with a pickup I got the other day. What the hell day was that? Not yesterday, the day before. It was 9:40 at night, and I was checking my RSS feed app, which I have Kijiji, which is local classifieds ad app. Anyway, I have a whole bunch of searches set up in there that it shows up my phone all ads that are posted on Kijiji, basically in video game categories. You can do the same thing with Craigslist real easily. But just scrolling through the ads, and I see something that I've been kind of looking for, which was the Microsoft Xbox One Connect Slim and X adapter, which they just discontinued and is shooting up in price. I was already looking at it before, and the price was getting low or getting high because I guess resellers were picking it up because it's hard to find. And it was originally retail, I think it was 30 US or something like that. So like 40, something like that, or 60 Canadian, I don't know, somewhere around there. But the prices were shooting up to 80, 90, $100 around here. And then they announced discontinuing it. And now the, dirty resellers on Amazon that you see always with the highest price are around $600 to $800.
Jeez.
That's ridiculous. No one can be buying that shit. But even on eBay, auctions are around 175 to 200 if it includes a Connect. But I found this one and they were asking $40 for the Connect. I'm like, well, I've got a Connect for Xbox One, but I picked it up on Kijiji a while ago for $25. And with my last Xbox that I just upgraded, there's a convoluted story. It powered on, but it would just shut right back off. Like there was a power issue, which seems to be a common issue with the Connect. So I'm like, great, I get a new Connect and I get the adapter to use on my new S. Pick that up for $40, but after it's kind of a tip, I clicked, let's see his other ads. Well, he's got a Switch for sale. Both the ads say I'd like to sell it tonight.
Nice.
So I said, how much for both the Switch, which he had for $320, and the adapter with the Connect, he said he had for $40, and he said it's $340. I'm like, well, let's talk when I get there. He wasn't having any of that. He's like, I don't want to sell the Switch any lower than $300. I'm like, okay, well, I'll see when I get there. I'll come and I'll definitely buy the Connect because he was also not responding quite as good as I want. I'm like, I don't want someone else to sweep in here and grab this while I'm, trying to negotiate a deal I should have just done in person. So I go there, bring my $40, buy it, start talking to him and his wife. Him and his wife have 2 Switches. They each have a Switch. They each have a copy of Mario Odyssey. They each have like shitloads of games. And he got this Switch as a Christmas bonus from work.
What?
It's brand new in box. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to buy a Switch for $300 right now. Let's just say I do that.
Triggered. I got nothing for Christmas bonus this year. And it's the first time that's happened.
I never get a Christmas bonus.
Nope.
No. So my my son wants to play Mario Odyssey really badly. He's only freaking 4. He doesn't need to play it, but I want to be the dad. I want to deliver on that. He likes Mario. He likes video games. He loves playing the Wii U and Mario Maker and stuff like that. I want to encourage that. And I figured, fuck it. I was up $150 on my video game budget. So why not buy a Switch? So I picked up the Switch. Got her there. That's the box. It's already hooked up. I've already tried playing it. Now the problem is I'm too cheap to buy any games. So
Yeah.
I got to find a deal on Mario Odyssey, which is apparently sold out like everywhere. But
Really?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know. I keep seeing people posting ads. My camera won't focus. Posting ads saying that they are looking for Mario Odyssey. I saw one in my town, the town next to me, for $60. Come on, camera. Piece of shit. There was one in town next to me for $60, but I said, "Well, you take 50."
You're all foggy.
Yeah, it really won't focus it.
Camera don't know what's going on there.
Am I back? I'm back.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Audio listeners don't care.
Yeah.
So I picked them both up for
Funny.
$340 is the moral of the story. Let's say that's $60 for the Connect and the adapter, which is still good, and then $280 for the Switch. I think that's good.
Me too.
Well, it's my long convoluted story with so many facets to it that it was really boring to listen to.
I had a turn at the end there.
Nail it. Switch. But any good games, like any digital? Seems like there's a lot of digital stuff on Switch.
Yeah, there is, but I'm too damn cheap. I like digital on Steam, right? I want to buy games for $5 or so, but all the good games on Switch are expensive as hell. Like I want Zipper Clips badly, and
Really?
physical it's like $39, digital it's $28. I think it's not a sale, but $30 for a digital game. I think it's probably a fairly short game, but it is a co-op game that'd be fun to play with my wife or my kid. I've just been playing the demo so far. Even Puyo Puyo Tetris, I was playing with my buddy when we went to lunch the other day. I brought that Switch to show him, and I'm like, "You want to try a game?" So we played a little bit of Snipper Clips. He's like, "Okay, let's do something else." So we put in Puyo Puyo Tetris and played that, and we had quite a bit of fun learning to play Puyo Puyo because I hadn't played it before, and getting better at Tetris, and then competing. And you can play either Puyo Puyo, which is basically like Dr. Mario, with the two things you line up and
No,
you line up
it's like
four.
Mean Bean Machine.
Sure, yes, that too. Which I've never played, right? So I can't make the relation. But
Mean Bean Machine is Puyo Puyo.
okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were learning how to play Puyo Puyo better, and he was, remembering how to play Tetris, and you can play opposite against each other or the same, doesn't matter. So it was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. What
But
about
I'll play
Bomberman?
something.
You should get Bomberman.
But Bomberman's not cheap either, and I want to play that single player. I don't really want to play it multiplayer, but I would.
What?
I would, I guess. I can't think of anyone that I would want to play with that I can guarantee is on a good level. You know what I mean? Like the same
But
level.
the wife and kid.
Yeah, my kids, I'm just gonna freaking kick his ass, and my wife.
You don't know. It'd be awesome. You're just worried.
I'm not even that good at it, but I just
There
know
you
that
go.
playing against my son
Gonna
would not
smoke
be
him.
very fun.
Mhm. You're gonna get wrecked, and you know it.
He's getting better at games. Don't get me wrong, but
He'll be
he
like,
wouldn't smoke me yet.
Good daddy.
I kicked your ass.
And he calls out racial slur. Another fun night.
Jesus.
Where do they learn it from?
From you, obviously.
It's that Logan Paul guy. How do you keep
God.
subscribing to him? I don't even know what that's about. I didn't watch it.
I didn't either.
I just
Stupid social media.
went
That's
to
the-
some
That's the best
suicide
way to get
park.
your advertising out there. Go viral.
That's what I'm waiting to do. The day I decide to do something just totally, utterly stupid that I know will go viral.
You'll find a time machine in a dumpster one day. Go, what is this? Bloop, 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 bloop. And suddenly it's like 3 weeks ago. Like, oh my god.
Well, this
Buy
is
Bitcoin.
80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah. Where we're going, we will need Super Bowl numbers. All you need is just to go back one time and you're set. Anyway, now I'm depressed.
Fair
All right.
enough.
You got any
Christmas
story, Thomas?
Oh yeah, I've got one for you. So I'm still hurt about this. I wanna put a keychain on this cartridge that I have in my hand right now. I listened to Pat and Ian, obviously Pat the NES Punk, and they were always talking. This is like 2 years ago. They were talking about GameStop selling bootleg games and not realizing it. Like,
Yeah.
this is Conker's Bad Fur Day with a red cartridge. What? That's not there. Anyway, so stuff like that happens. And I was like, Psh, I'll never get scammed. I'm too good at this. I know what fake games look like. So I'm at the flea market, right? And I'm going down the aisles, and this guy's got a glass case, which is my first mistake. He's got a glass case on the outside with the sun beating down. This was...
Oh, that's the worst.
This is stupid anyway. But what do I see in the case? Conker's Bad Fur Day. Hey now. I was like, yeah, what you want for that? I know it's going to be cheap. He's like, I'll take $40 for it. I'm like, it's a really good deal. I don't know. Let me see it. He's like, I ain't going to let you see it unless you buy it. And then I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And see, this is the whole thing about my heart playing with me and going back to our previous topic about relax for a second and look at what you got going on. So, from here, all the audio listeners can't see it, but on camera, you can probably tell it looks.
It's even got some marker at the top corner there. It's been wiped off, kind of.
But then when it gets close, you see the fade.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And then like the corners are like the label's so faded. It's not even gloss.
The Nintendo is over the day. That's an issue.
Well, see, my heart didn't tell me none of this. And then the guy was like, you know what? I ain't never tested it, and I take $20. I was like, oh, here's $20. So I just took a shot, and then on the way home, I'm like, this is a fake game.
Wait a
This is a
minute.
fake game. I was like, I guarantee it's a fake game, but maybe it was relabeled.
Is it
Maybe the guy
playable?
knew
I need
it
to
was
know if it's
relabeled.
playable.
So I was holding on to the relabel, right? So I get home, I'm like, where's the 64 at? Plug it up, put it in. Boom. It's that Star Wars Squadron something, whatever that one was.
Squadron.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
So I got a nice $20 copy with a Conker's Bad Fur Day label of a Star Wars game. And that's my big.
Today.
Is it at least a legit cart?
It is legit. It's the
That's
actual
just
Star
relabeled.
Wars game. They just ripped the label off, and he was just like, I ain't never tested it. It was my daughter's. Yeah. Like, the guy was obvious. I've never seen him since, because I went back out there the next day. I was going to tear his head off.
He moved on to the next flea market with the new copy.
Did. Which there are a lot of bootleg games. A lot of the Chinese Pokemon games get their way down here.
Yeah.
And I mean, if the price is right and you want to play it, yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
you could tell. But that one's my big fail. especially after listening to Ian and all them talk about it. I'm like, yeah, I'll never get scammed. Yeah, and there it was.
I did not. I made a purchase that was similar. I think I kind of made it work out in its favor because I did a bulk buy, but I bought reproduction Rock and Roll Racing for GBA, Ninja 5.0 for GBA, and Golden Sun for GBA. And Golden Sun even had a case and manual.
There you go.
Like box manual, but they were reproductions. I think I paid 15 for the 3. But in my spreadsheet, because I bought a bunch of stuff from that guy. No, also Tactics Ogre. That's the other one. So Tactics Ogre was another one. Those are
You're
all
looking
like
at lists, aren't you?
games. Yeah, I'm looking at my
I can
spreadsheet.
see your eyes.
I'm trying to figure out how I did the money thing because it's only showing. Oh no, I only paid $5 for the 4 of them. That's what it was. It wasn't 15.
Pretty good.
15 would make me really regret it. But he was kind of a, I don't know. He looked like he was a gamer, so I should have known that he would not have had legit games that cheap.
I imagine you buying them from the guy from Gremlins, the Chinese guy,
God.
in his curio shop.
He did not look like that. He looked like if I put on another 80 pounds, let's say, that's what he looked like. But yeah, that's my relation to your story anyway. I felt ripped off, but at least it was okay. And then I luckily was able to sell it to a local game store for $32 for all of them because they thought they were going to get into the market of selling reproductions. I told them their reproductions, and they were fine with that.
That's a thing I've seen locally too.
Yeah, they wanted to sell reproductions, but then they realized they didn't want to sell those ones for some reason. They told me later.
I can usually pick up a fake. Like I don't know if you saw, but I did. I think I've only done one video
I got excited and didn't even look for the fakes. But yeah, go ahead.
It just happens. Your heart gets a hold of you. Yeah. But I did like a live flea market walk around with a buddy of mine, and we found Earthbound, and the guy wanted like $80 for it or something. Which at the time, but we started looking at it, and the label looks okay.
Was this after you bought Conkers or before?
This is way after. Like I've already learned my lesson. By
Lessons
this point.
learned. Yeah. That's why I was checking.
He's like, I'm not a big Nintendo and Super Nintendo guy. Like I'm not like you talk 5 screws and all that crap. Yeah, I know what it is, but it's like
some people care. I don't know.
But that's like that's just not my part of the market. Like I got in Sega Saturn and after, but when I see Earthbound, I'm like, dude, that's a killer price. And we talked about like halving it and then flipping it and making a little profit there. But we start looking at this cart, looking it over, and all the screws on the back are totally rounded where you couldn't check it. I was like, so you gonna let me pop the cart open? He's like, actually, the screws won't come out. I'm like, oh, so you got like a Madden 98 or something in here?
Yeah.
I know they didn't have that. I guess they didn't have that. I don't know.
Well, always try and test the game if you can. There's another pro tip. There's so many of those portable like aftermarket devices.
That would be good.
Superboy lets you play Super Nintendo carts.
Problem is you got to carry a Superboy with you. You got to carry Genesis Nomad with you. You got to bring.
It's better than paying $300 for a repro.
Yeah,
the wrong.
I'd rather bring a Nintendo bit with me, and if I can't open it, don't buy it.
My biggest thing is I try not to buy anything that's high priced at a flea market. Period. Like, I usually will go to the guys. Y'all don't have what? You don't have
There's no flea markets here. No.
Oh, you need to move out. Dude, you'd love it down here. Down here where I'm at, we have the biggest one like in the state.
Yeah. They're fun. They're greasy in the best way.
The old dirt mall. Gotta love it, man.
The only flea markets we have around here are the ones that are like a building that's divided into booths and people pay for the booths and it's open to like normal business hours. Like they're basically just businesses in a building.
Ours is like that. Ours is like that, but it's usually like on the weekends only, and like the inside building is that. I mean, you pay for the booth period anyway, but the inside is like all the cheap Chinese junk and just typical cookie cutter stuff. But the outside's everybody like, well, I just cleaned my garage out and I just want to try to make the power bill.
We don't have that. Instead, we have garage sales. People do garage sales around here.
Those are the smart people here that'll do it out of the garage. It's like, why would I pay somebody when I own this house? I'm just going to sell in the yard.
Yeah. That's the ultimate decadence, is being like a garage sale picker. When people like go from garage sale to garage sale, that's crazy. I don't have a car though, so it's not.
My wife and I have been doing that for like 2 years now. We go around, but the problem is I have too much competition around here. I've got CJR in my town, as well as lots of other people.
they're just too far and in between for me. Like, I mean, I do it and I'll cruise to town, but it's like literally like one here, 10 miles away, there's another one, so on and so forth.
All right.
Okay.
And we're back.
Yeah. Are we back? Do we know?
Yeah, it's still recording. Hangouts is still recording. That's good.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just me dropping. I don't know what I was even saying. I was talking about garage sales.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were going on about whatever.
Something
at that
about-
point.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they're good if you
Yeah,
can
where the
find
hell?
them.
I didn't bring my damn layout up again. Or my
Yeah, we're talking about competition. Competition kills everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, if it wasn't for competition, I wouldn't have known about fucking buying video games at garage sales because I wouldn't have seen CJR and how many other people on Twitter. Or sorry, on YouTube.
Well, the upside, if you want to consider, is that at least you're saving money now because everyone bought everything, and now you can save your money because there's nothing to buy.
This is
Yeah, we'll pretend it's that way.
which I do have one good connection. He does the whole auction lot things at the storage units.
Oh, nice.
And then I usually get a text message, "Hey, I bought all this crap. Give me like $30."
Very
Nice.
good. Yeah, if he's happy, he gets some money out of it, and you get a
Well,
whole bunch of junk for a good price.
One day we'll get us a Pocky and Rocky out of there.
Mhm. It is a good game.
Which I got Mighty Final Fight from him, and then I got
That's a good one too.
Gunstar Kids or whatever for Jen.
Star Heroes.
Heroes,
I
that's
don't. Honestly, I don't like that one. I know it's super popular, but I prefer Contra for my running gun.
Well, let's see. I've only played it like 2 or 3 times, but it's just so balls to the wall out the gate.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's weird. Like, can you touch enemies or can't you? I don't know. I'm throwing them at the time.
That was my biggest thing. What are we doing?
Yeah. I don't like treasure games, to be quite frank. I know they're like, oh, the retro gaming gold. Like,
I don't think I've played a single one.
I'm not feeling it. It's just like red and blue, the game every time. It's like, here's your blue gun, here's your red gun. Ikaruga, Silhouette, Mirage, same thing.
I'm like sacrilegious to the retro world when it comes to certain things like that. Like certain companies make, "Ooh, Atlas, you gotta have Atlas." Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm fine with
It
flipping
says
Atlas games.
Natsume. I gotta have it. It's like, no,
Like
no,
I don't keep up with makers or any of that crap.
yeah.
No, I don't really either.
Now certain like Pokemon, yeah, I gotta have all Pokemon games ever made for some stupid reason.
Pokemon.
Pokemon Go.
Ooh. I tried that. I couldn't figure out what was going on.
I played it a lot.
Actually, I started it on the washroom, and I'm thinking I was supposed to walk, and I was like, oh, well, this isn't going to work. I uninstalled this thing. Nah.
I tried to get a friend at work to play it. He said the same thing. He's like, I have to walk.
Yeah.
No, not playing.
I'm all for walking, but it's like, I was just trying to use it for the washroom.
Yeah, he wasn't big on walking.
It's not a washroom game.
It was too fickle for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on here. Steven, your story time. Your story.
Story time. Yeah, that's a good one. But go back in time and buy all the sweet now retro games. That's a good story. Weren't we just talking about time machine?
Cool story, bro.
We
Yeah.
were.
No, because I was saying I used to work at a Blockbuster Video when those were still a thing.
Oh, nice. That would have been good when they were clearing out shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was in the back room and there's like, yeah, just clean up this back room because it's a mess. Like, okay. And then they had like a bunch of like game rental boxes and manuals and stuff. Like, hey, we got a bunch of extra like Super Nintendo boxes and manuals. Any chance I could keep some? It's like, as long as we have at least one in stock for when we eventually sell them. It's like, yeah, sure. Like, cool.
Nice.
And I just got a bunch of like
Nice to have boxes of boxes.
yeah, like flattened. They're flattened because obviously to save space. But
Yeah.
yeah, like even the boxes alone. Like I sold my Mega Man X3 box and manual for like $200 to a guy, some ridiculous amount like that. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad I grabbed those when I did.
Yeah.
That was neat.
No sculptor's cut box manual.
No, that would have been before that time.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Fist
they were
and
all
yes,
so
what you're-
yeah,
Yeah.
Story time. Now is that specifically for as far as the old buy sell?
No, whatever you want. Any story. It doesn't matter.
Just like going to Radio Shack to play 3DO Road Rage and Turbo Graphics Keith Courage. I don't know if that Keith Courage was a good game, but it's fun to play when you're in a store and the kiosk
Yeah,
thing.
no,
set up.
I did play Road Rage on 3DO. My
Yeah.
brother's friend who was living with us at the time rented a 3DO, and brought it home with Need for Speed. Oh yeah, Need for Speed and Road Rage.
The original Need for Speed.
Road Rash. Sorry, Road Rash. Yeah, I think it was original Need for Speed. Unless it was Hot Pursuit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it would have been pretty old. It's like Road and Driver presents the Need for Speed.
Yeah,
back when it was still associated with the magazine.
I remember that on PC, so I don't know.
Yeah.
For sure.
I had that demo disc.
I think I still have it.
I'm like PC gamer. I probably still have mine too. I don't know where that box is though. It's deep in the catacombs. I was looking for it the other day. It's like I know I have a box of 90s PC gamer magazines, and it will be a very heavy box because those were heavy magazines. Don't know where it is though. I'm not going that far down there.
Wait until PC gaming starts going up in price.
Yeah, is that a thing?
Retro
People
PC.
are buying boxes now because I have.
It is, but I think it's
boxes.
going to happen. It's going to be a while yet. I think.
I think it's a thing. You know, lazy game reviews.
Yeah, he's popularizing it, and
Yeah.
Metal Jesus was for a bit there.
I was gonna say Metal Jesus is the one I see doing it, and that'd be the one
he
I
was a
think
developer
running
for
up.
Sierra.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, tester. I don't think he was doing. No, he was customer support. That's what it was.
Nice. Yeah. No, I went to EA once in I guess Burnaby. That was kind of neat. They have a gift store, and it was really expensive in there. You'd think they'd be cheaper, but no, they didn't actually have anything really cool in there, which was unfortunate. But it's like my brother knew, like a friend of his worked there, so we got a tour of EA, and pretty neat. It's like a YMCA because there's tons of like sports courts and things, basketball, and soccer. There was like a wall where they had all their classic like EA sports titles like stuck to a wall, and they had like random arcade machines scattered throughout the building, all on free play.
That's cool.
You had to like sign in.
Sports
You had to
games
be,
aren't cool, but
hey man, it's in the game. And yeah, that was neat. Yeah, that's all.
you don't have to force it.
Yeah, I think that's good. If I think of anything else, yeah.
All right,
Just the Blockbuster one's pretty fun, of course, because
Yeah, it is
a
cool.
lot of like the buy and sells. It's neat. It's like being back in the day, and like because I was a big collector even back then. But like now, I guess it's more for the collecting. But then it was just last gen. Like I said, like N64 and PlayStation were just the fancy, expensive new device, and no one had money for that. But you could afford some of these random Super Nintendo carts.
Yeah.
I remember like department stores would actually carry. There was some company that made like plastic cases, not necessarily a case, but like just a plastic to go over a cart, and then they would sell it in a store. Like Zellers did that once. I don't know if you ever remember those, but it was neat. I mean, I got a bunch of games from those back in the day. I want to say they were maybe like $20 a game or something, when originally they might have been like 80 to 100 depending on the game. You know, like old Super Nintendo RPGs were always really expensive. Especially something like Earthbound with the big box and the included strategy guide. Like, man, those things were expensive.
I remember always seeing Earthbound in game rental store and never picking it up to rent it.
Yeah. It doesn't look appealing.
It's not my kind of game anyway. But
Yeah.
I'll never play it.
It's never been... I sold mine. I sold my Conquer.
I can play it emulated, but it's just not my kind of game.
Yeah, I had no love for it, so like,
Conquer-
I'll take
Conquer
those
would-
$100 again. It's like, man, if it's a seller's market, then that's what it is, and I'm okay with selling these random carts. I got enough other crap to get through. There's that word again. You know what I mean?
Junk and stuff.
Junk
Stuff
and
and things.
The collection. There's
Trash.
always another game to fill the gap. That's why we're on the show, I guess.
All right, we'll go on to the next section, which is collection discussion topic. Kind of just talking about your collection mostly. So we'll start out with Thomas. Do you track your sales and purchases? Things you pick up, things you get. Do you track them?
As far as like tracking what I pay and selling all that stuff, no. But that's really back to the whole rule of thumb I have of not paying much at all.
Yep.
So like if I pay $2 and it's a $20 game and then it crashes to $1, you know, it doesn't hurt my feelings that way. So I don't really track what I sell and what I keep. I mean, what I pay and all that stuff. But I've started trying to catalog what I have.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Because you eventually hit that point where it's like, do I have that, or do I have 10 copies of that, or what? Or like if you're into variants and all that stuff, do I have
Fuck variants?
Yeah, I try to stay away from variants, even though I'm still a CD collector too, like all the music CDs. So I'm all about variants there too. Oh, how many different covers do you got? Ooh, let me get like 10 of those.
Yeah, so many re-releases and all that.
Oh God,
Collections.
Oh, no.
But I use that Game Eye app because it's free and I don't want to pay.
Okay, I've heard good things about it.
I mean, it's not bad. There's sucky points in it where it's like, oh, like the star raters, for instance, that's not even in the system. And then like stuff that's like that where it is in the system, but it's like, yeah, we don't know what that's worth. So we're just going to kind of leave it over here in left field. What? But for the most part, it's got about an okay accurate price, and it updates constantly. So it'll give you a roundabout price tag of what your collection should about be worth. And it gives you a number, which I haven't got all the way through. I think I've added like 600 games so far, but I'm somewhere over 1,000. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. So, as you said, anything else? I was gonna say fun statistics, but if you don't have it really tracked, it's not really easy to do fun statistics. Like something like how much money you've turned over in games, or I don't know. Yeah.
We're no Mr. Q Dog around here.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say that for the most part, like say it's right now it's got like 600 games added in my phone, and it's estimating almost $7,000 is what so those 600s are worth, or so it says. I'm willing to bet I haven't broke $1,000 of that.
That's good.
So that's that whole rule of thumb. That'd be about the only statistic I think I would have is I have nowhere near the money in it that I should have in it.
Yeah, no, that's good. I swear by that too. That's I won't ruin your or step on your time.
But the stupidest problem I have with games right now that I can find that I'm going to tell you will eventually, and it kind of has at times, that'll bite me and bite the price tag, is I'm for some reason obsessed with box Game Boy games. I mean, it could be Game Boy Color, Advanced, or original. I don't know why I need them, but I need them, and I need them all. Like, I'm not trying to go for the full set, but if I see a box Game Boy game, I'm like, hey, how much? How much is that?
You gotta stop listening to your heart a little bit there, maybe.
I know. God, I know.
Those boxes are always in rough shape, and oh man,
well, they look so
hard
pretty.
to find.
They're hard to find. Though. You put a protector on them, things look
nice that they're
better.
small boxes, though. It's nice that the boxes are small.
I've got a decent sealed collection of Game Boy games too, though.
Oh my god!
Like for some reason, I don't know why they keep coming to me, but like just all kind of sealed stuff.
That's awesome.
That's
I've only found like 2 sealed games ever, and they were shitty ass not Spec Ops. What the hell's that? SOCOM. Like, that's it.
Oh, SOCOM.
Yeah.
I did find the best sealed thing I ever found was what was it? Chicken Hunt or something like that for PS1, where you throw eggs at stuff. I think it was.
No idea.
No, it was some crap like that. But anyway, it's sealed. But then you remember back in the day where they had that weird plastic thing that goes around it, and they're like it's elongated.
That thing?
Yeah, kind of like that. Or you could like hang them upside down if you wanted to. But it was like they are all Walmart used to have them. They were all stuck in the shelves in the CD collection. I found one of those, like totally sealed. So I know whoever had that stole it. Or I assume they stole it. But it was like $2. Couldn't beat that.
Nice. So Steven, what about you? Do you track purchases and sales?
Nah, I tried. I made a text file on my desktop here. See if I can still find it.
What year was it last updated?
Here it is. Original Game Boy collection. Click. I just wrote a bunch, and that's definitely not all of them. I'm being distracted with this list. It's a bad list. It's like this. Like I said, the apartment is just too messy right now. If I had like a fancy house and more rooms, more than the bachelor apartments, man, forget about it. There's no way you can comfortably live. It's just a weird space, and there's no wall. Like the shelves are like a wall now in a way, but I don't know. Like I just have like containers. Here's a container full of GBA games.
It's beautiful.
Here's wait, you like this one? There's a shit ton of original Game Boy games.
I've been told lately that you might have a problem.
There's the Game Boy camera in there. It's the yellow one. I got the cleaning thing. And then stuff ends up on those, and then it all piles up.
You're my favorite kind of guy at a flea market. How much you take for this whole bin, guy?
Okay. Well, that's about $40 right there.
I'll do 30.
Yeah. Do that. Here's another box. Here's a Dr. Scholl's box. See, let me just see. The fun thing here is the sound effects. See, you can see that.
Oh my god!
Yes.
So it's just this times a bunch all over the place, and that's my.
I would be selling that shit off so fast. You have no idea.
They're so hard.
I had like 500 games. That's what I got. Pretty much. That's it.
I love the original Game Boy though, like you said.
Game Boy cartridges are so hard to want to deal with though. Like I want them nice and neat displayed, but you can't display them in any decent freaking way. I had the whole card binder for a while, but they all fall out.
Yeah, I took over to the binder. I've seen people do nail polish displays.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clear
but then
plastic.
by the time that's over, you got like 45 of them lining your whole house.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Mine are in a binder right up there.
Mine are in boxes.
You saw my closet. I just tack wood in there and stack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like over to my right here, I've got 9 stacks of NES games, and I don't know, what a mess. By the way, I like Japanese Game Boy games. Are really fun to collect. Here's the Japanese Contra, and they're almost always gaijin friendly, as I like to put it, because as in there's not a lot of Japanese text to get through. They're usually mostly arcade games, so good for importing.
I like all the multi-carts with the little buttons or whatever.
Yeah, multi-carts are neat. The old school bootlegs. So that's what I don't like about repro carts. That they're always like one game, and then they expect us to pay like $60 for it. When you can get like 101 carts, and then it's like $50. And you got 100 games. Like, well, let me make my decision here. I think I'll go for the one that's 101. Either way, it's not real, but at least it's all there on one card. Anyways, yeah, no, it's all by memory. I'm pretty sure I still need Mega Man 6 for the NES. I wanted to find the Adventures of Spike McFang for the Super Nintendo. Evo for the Super Nintendo would be great, but not at those prices. As far as the retro gaming stuff goes, I'm pretty much set. Like it's a relaxed collection at this point. Like those games I listed off earlier, like those are just random Rudy Poo games just because they were $5 each and I didn't have them. It's like, yeah, sure. We'll add those to the pile. Yeah.
Were there ones that you did have that you didn't buy?
Doesn't happen all that often, but even if it does, it's no big deal.
No, I mean, were there ones at the store you left behind because you already had?
Yeah, I actually had them because those were just in the common area, but over in the fancy glass case, they had more games, but those were like 20. I think they were $20 each. So they had Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Mega Man 3, and all this stuff. And you're thinking, oh my god, exciting super games, great for resale. I'm like, nah, I don't care. I don't want to. Like, where do people find the time? It's not worth the trouble for the most part. Now, if I've got, like I said, Wild Guns, something I've already got at home, and I can sell this to some crazy person for $600. See, now we're talking. That I'm okay with. But if I'm only making like $5-10 for sale, and I got to deal with, like you said, the online sellers and all that stuff.
You should bring down your big ones to Barry at the Barry Game Exchange next time.
Did you hear Kevin's talk about the airport? Doesn't sound fun. I always worry about that too. Like, how do you move merch through the airplane? Because
that's true. They probably only let you bring a certain value as well.
Yeah. And speaking of doing like a trip to Japan or whatever, like I always worry about if I did buy stuff, like do you take it on the plane? Do you mail it to yourself from Japan? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It all depends on how much it weighs, I bet, and how much shipping from Japan is, because it's probably not cheap. But that's probably where you need to hold off on buying too much stuff. But I don't think you can.
Because I mean, if I went, I was going to use in Japan as the prime example. Like if I went there, also I'd want to go to all the cool, like the book off and hard off those stores where they just have tons of retro games. Like I'm dying to see that, but at the same time, I don't like the hype levels aren't high enough. That's really
just tell Richard to start sending you pictures from there every day.
He doesn't send pictures to anyone. It bums me out. You wouldn't know he lives in Japan.
It's true. He kind of stays pretty disconnected.
Mm-hmm. What a sneak. He just hogs it all for himself.
Yeah.
But,
and then doesn't buy it.
I think the thing is, if I do make that trip, I have to do it to not want to buy stuff, but just to go. And that would be important, because if I did go and I wanted to buy stuff,
or you could limit yourself to, I've got this extra luggage that's specifically for buying things.
yeah. But I mean, like, once again, we've got the online world right in front of us. Like, literally, I can go to, once again, Japanese Amazon, for example, and just order stuff.
But it's got to be a different type of product. Like you're walking into a book off there, you're looking for used stuff that's maybe not even complete. Whereas if you're buying on Amazon, you're paying a premium to get it in a good condition, complete.
Sometimes it all depends how big the markup is, because there's like a guy on eBay that I would often go back to because they had really good prices on, like we said, the Japanese Game Boy games.
Yeah.
So I'd order a bunch of those. But then issues with Canada Post, like they just don't feel like tracking numbers anymore. It's like you'll pay for tracking, but they won't track it. I'm waiting on 3 deliveries right now, and they're not being tracked, and I worry about that. If you want to hear more about the struggle, be sure and listen to the Capmax Toycast, which you'll find over at the Capmax Gaming YouTube channel.
There you go. I was going to plug that at the end.
Yeah, we'll do it then too.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see. Any other things? Total games? I wouldn't know, but yeah. What do we collect for? Anyone? Have any fun systems they collect for?
No.
Anything exotic? I like LCD games. Those are fun to collect.
I have
Tiger Electron. Neat.
I have 3.
I got Mega Man 2. I used to play that in recess back in elementary.
There you go.
That's a good ass game. I don't care what anyone says.
About the only thing I collect for would be or the weird thing that I collect for nobody does around here, because you can't find them around here, would be the Sega Saturn. Like,
Yeah.
I had a huge collection as a kid, and I grew up with it, and I kept it around, and then I had a buddy somehow talked me out of it, and I pretty much traded it to him for nothing.
Damn.
Then I got lucky because he kept it. And then some years later, I was like, hey, do you still have those
There you
games? He's
go.
like, yeah, man, I'll give you a whole trunk load for $75. So I got that whole collection back, which is actually good because it was like,
That's awesome.
like now I think it equates to like almost $1,000 worth of games because the prices suck so much. But
Yeah.
that's like the weird one here because nobody. I don't think it really took off in the South. I don't think Saturn took off. Period. But
Yeah. Yeah.
in the South, especially.
I've only seen like
like
2 lots of Saturn games in the last 2.5 years. That's it.
I love the Saturn.
Yeah, not a bad console. I got one in some loose discs some time ago, and it's fun. Yeah. Played Daytona.
Oh, the best part about that's when you put in the code and race as a horse, but it's still got the car shadow on it.
Classic.
Cheat codes are the best.
I think Dreamcast was my jam back in the day.
I have a Dreamcast and I have no games.
I have a Dreamcast.
I think I have most variants of the system, the Dreamcast system, and I've got like 2 sports games, and I never will intend to play these games either.
I've heard good things, and I've heard there's games that I like especially those shoot 'em ups. It'd be fun to play, but
Yeah, there's some really good games that never came out again anywhere.
it's expensive here.
Here's a fun story. When I was living in Vancouver, I went to Toys R Us one wintry day, and I bought Alien Front Online for the Sega Dreamcast for $0.01.
Jeez. There you go.
The price sticker was like 0.01. I'm like, I guess I can afford that. That was cool.
That's the real question. Do you buy that crap now? Like GameStop still does that stuff down here. It'll be like 24 cents for a game. Do you buy that stuff and sit on it because one day maybe the next stadium events? What do you do?
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't. The only time I've done that is when I already knew the game was worth something, which was what they called Raiden 4 on Xbox 360. They were clearancing that out for $1.99.
That's a good one.
Like Hello Kitty. When Hello Kitty blew up for the Wii U or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm so annoyed about that.
I had a chance to buy it for $3. I was like, I'll get that crap later and a lot of stuff. Yeah, kicked myself for that one.
I owned it. I made a video of it, and then I was like, this game's dumb. And I got rid of it, and then apparently it's worth a lot more now. It's not good. Don't pay a lot for it.
I think it crashed or because it was like $500 or $600, and I think it come back down now finally. But still like $100, I think. Or it was last time I looked. Yeah, very dumb.
It's bad. I gave it a
Cruisers.
fair shake too. The whole point of that was that it came out around the same time that Mario Kart 8 did. So it's like, yeah, well, let's get in on this Mario Kart hype. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll buy it.
That's what probably why I won't buy a Switch, because the Wii, the Wii U, yeah, I probably have 8 hours total in each system. Just not gonna play them. Not my thing.
Just start playing Monster Hunter. I mean, the hundreds of hours will fly by.
I've got those on the 3DS. I've been meaning to play that.
Yeah, I think it's better on a big screen, but it'd be great. Like I keep saying, like the Switch in Japan has a Monster Hunter, but they just haven't felt the need to localize it. And I'm just like, why? We've got Monster Hunter World coming, or like pretty soon, and that's on PS4, Xbox One, surprisingly, and eventually the PC, but nothing for Nintendo. And I'm wondering what happened between Capcom and Nintendo there.
No, I do enjoy my Xbox.
Yeah, well, there you go. I barely played my Xbox One.
I was just checking out another Wii U game that I had picked up, Funky Barn. I had picked it up at a GameStop in a buy two get one free. I think I got it for like $11, and I sold it for $45 after all fees on eBay.
Can't beat that.
It's dropped down in price now. It's kind of leveled off around 25-30 US now. So
I would like to return this game. Why? The barn was not funky enough.
no,
We've been hearing that. I understand.
Happy to sell it. I picked it up just to flip, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wait, real quick.
Yeah.
For his question, that I was just gonna say, I bought Just Sing from EB Games for my, and I got a buck or two, and I got one for Xbox One and one for PS4, just because I might need those cases someday.
Cases is legit.
Mm-hmm.
Just Sing for Xbox One is still worth $10, $15.
Talking about cases and going back to your days working at the movie store, that's like the main reason I still do dumpster dive, is for the pure fact of cases, because I firmly believe one day there'll be that day where it's like, man, I really wish I had that Pokemon case for the 3DS. Well, hey, guess what? I've got 35 of them, because one day
your GameStops there throw out the cases for DS games, which is crazy.
What?
Crazy.
Which at first I kept them for the whole like put the Game Boy cartridges in and like print a fake sleeve or whatever. But now I'm just like, I'll just sit on these until the market really wants to buy them.
Yeah, I can't sit on anything. I have to sell it right away because I can't predict the future and I don't want it to go down.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't want to store shit either. That's the other problem. I don't have room to store everything.
Yeah, that is my biggest issue too, storing shit.
I got a box of I think like 15 or 20 DS cases that I'm going to put on eBay soon.
If you're a single guy and you never have people over, it's not so bad.
No, that's the way to live.
Yeah, I already married and had 2 children, so I'm past that point. It's not an option.
Storage locker. That's an idea. I always wear those Storage Wars shows. Like, it's like, imagine if your things were there and then they made a mix up. And it's like, oh no,
cut the wrong lock and sell it off.
Oh Lord, don't talk like that.
I like watching those shows. You just gave him a whole bunch of anxiety there.
Yeah,
I couldn't handle that one.
Those people are greasiest. Have you seen the Canadian version? One of those people.
Yeah, I saw the Canadian one.
They're
all near my area. Like that's like 40 minutes from here.
Do you watch Fluffy Gamer on the tube?
Yep.
Yeah, he kills me because I mean he's friends with Renee or whatever. I love all that crap.
Yeah. What? There's new people on that show now that my wife has been watching on YouTube for the last couple of years. Yeah. What the hell is her name? Adwina and Shayna. They're Thrifters Anonymous on YouTube. They're pretty entertaining. They're funny.
Cash is king, baby.
So that's the next level. That's what's after YouTube. All right, I like.
Yeah, that's what YouTube is. It's TV.
I'm just hoping that Discovery Channel takes us up.
That's what I don't get is why aren't these like fancy up there YouTubers? Why aren't like TV networks or Hulu or Netflix trying to get a hold of them?
Exactly.
And it's a matter of getting the right type of content. So my wife also used to watch a chick on YouTube called Laura Vitale. And she cooks and bakes. Yeah, and she got her own show too. But on like not Food Network, but Cooking Channel, I think it's called in the States.
Yep.
So like, I mean, like JonTron as example, he's got like 1 million+ subs. Like, why not just give him like a whole team of people and just like, be funny for Netflix? I don't know why they do things.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
I'm not in the industry. I'm not rich. All right. Going on to this section, the section we were on, collection and discussion and stuff. Me finishing off as the last one here. As we know, I track my stuff to a spreadsheet, purchases and sales. So I'm up to like 2,868 lines in my spreadsheet of each one being an individual game or system or accessory. Total value of stuff I've had without everything filled in yet. I haven't filled in everything's value, but over 25 grand worth of stuff that's gone through or that I currently have. Current value of stuff I have is 9 grand, and I'm in it for $294 now, thanks to the Switch. But I'll make that up. I got lots of stuff to sell. I'm planning on selling at the Berry Game Exchange, which is a game exchange coming up a couple months.
Better pull out your AV cables.
Sorry?
Better pull out your AV cables to make that up.
Those won't sell great there, though. That's the problem, because it's a whole nother audience. I gotta find some shit to sell to people there, because what I need is all of Steven's expensive games there, because they'd sell in no time.
Yeah, we have there's a Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo. I could always.
Yeah,
actually, even in Victoria, we have a toy show. That's sometimes there's people selling games. But
yeah,
there's
too much people with too much money.
That's the one thing that bugs me. One of the things that bugs me about the whole reseller culture that's arisen is just like I don't want to get rid of them. It's my collection, and I love them. And then, but
it's your choice to make, buddy.
That's the struggle. That's if it's hard, if they reach that magic number and someone actually wants to give me money for it. Anyways,
yeah, post them and put it as a higher number than they're currently worth, and make it feel good to you. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, I usually check to see what the going rate is on eBay, and then I'll try and beat the lowest price just by a little bit.
Yeah, see, if you want it to sell, then you do that. But I'm just saying, if you're hesitant to sell, then you set your number high and feel better about selling.
Yeah, it usually just comes down to if I spend too much money and then I'm going to be poor and hungry. And
that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. Now the time has come. Buy wild guns. But yeah, when we're talking about trips, real quick, is when you have things that are worth grotesque amounts, then it's like I do want to make that trip, but I want to keep that thing.
Did you figure out how much the trip will cost you or not? Like in terms of just flight there and staying?
Well, my goal is $2,000 in fun bucks, but that would also include the transportation. So we'll say I'd have $1,200 remaining.
Dude, just post those games that you have that already add up to that match and do it.
I still want to.
You gotta take time off work too, though, right?
Yeah, that's part of it too. So that's why I'm trying to say if I go, I don't want to become like Mr. Spendy.
Yeah. Yep.
But it looks like it would be real easy to. And then self-control. Yeah, I mean, like I said, be picky, but that's why I want to go for more than just buying stuff, and I really do. Like you said, like Richard Ramvox, I want to hang out with. There's people I know, and it'd be cool to just be there and experience the different culture. Darren from it's Darren's channel, Gaming Pilgrimage.
Yeah.
He's been 2 times now. I don't have that Darren money, but I mean, like it sounds like he's done a lot of fun stuff. They went to like an aquarium. They saw sumo and a no play. That's NOH, and that'd be the kind of like appropriate touristy stuff to do. We went to like Universal Studios Japan and saw like a Japanese Harry Potter thing, and that's fun. His friend Humala did a video, and it's like, that looks like a good time. That's like the right thing to do when going to a different culture. And I would just try and buy everything, and then I'd have too much, and then I'd spend too much, and I can't go back because I spent too much money.
And you can't get it all back because you don't have enough luggage.
Yeah, so I basically become Ryu from Street Fighter, and that's my life. But I tweet it all for the free Wi-Fi. Good times. I'll become a fisherman. That's popular there. Yeah, I digress.
No doubt. Okay, so last thing in this section is I just bought the other day. I bought the Collector's Games app, the CLZ games on Android. It was $18. It's ridiculous. I used Google Play money for half of it, over half of it, $11 or so, I think. So I now have that, and I need to add all my games into that so I can actually see how many games I have and what they are. And when I'm out, I can tell what I actually own.
Mhm.
So let's get on to the listener questions now, because we have actually quite a few. So you can tweet hashtag DD answers to ask questions of the podcast. Obviously not for this episode, but we'll pick them up on the next one. You can also go to the Cartridge Club forums under the Dollar Dorks podcast and write a question there, or in YouTube comments on this video or any other one of our episodes. So first question is from Chris, base guy 654. When you find a very uncommon game or other collectible at a thrift store, convention, etc., and it's, let's say, 20 to 30% over retail, would you buy it? Do you usually buy it? And it's currently, let's say, not on eBay, not locally available, etc., or do you wait? So let's start with Thomas. What do you think? You see some over retail?
It would have to be something I really needed in my life, but more than likely no. Like if it's over the top, and like I say, I buy cheap, but I will buy retail prices should I really want something. But like, say, I know something I would buy for a stupid price, like, you know, I like boxed Game Boy consoles or whatever. If I found
I had one, damn it.
I've got the yellow one that came with yellow back in the day. Like I've got that. I don't have it boxed, but if I found it boxed, I would pay overpriced for that. But that's just pure nostalgia biting me. So
I need to find one now to sell you.
Come on now.
I had an inbox teal one. That's the only one I've come across inbox. Teal Game Boy.
I've got a handful of them, but they're starting to get to that point where I'm like, do I need them? Probably not.
Yes. I'm a bad influence for people who like.
I think I have exactly what you're talking about too. So you're talking about the dandelion one.
Yeah.
I think I got that. It's over there somewhere. There's a Neo Geo Pocket Color or two in that same box. I can picture it. I know that because one of those local whales again. I accidentally sent him a picture of that box, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to buy half those." Like, no, I don't want to sell them, but maybe I do. That's why I sent him the picture. You know, just leave a feeler out there, see what the offers were. Nothing, no crazy prices though.
All right, Steven, what about you for this question?
Yeah,
probably.
I can't think of any game I especially want to pay over. Like if we're talking once again, like the whatever site gameprices.org or whatever group thinks they know what everything is worth. Like those prices are usually pretty much more than I'd want to pay anyways. And to even go above that, it must be. I couldn't imagine what game it would be.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that I would want that would be above retail price. If I had a bunch of money in my gaming budget, and I'm like, I could easily sell this game for this much, then maybe. But over retail, I doubt it. I can't see it happening. I can't think of a game that I would want to buy over retail. Yeah. But then again, how do you define retail? Retail is what the market will pay.
Yeah.
And if you can't find it anywhere, then the market price is going to go up if people want it. So in the end, technically retail is going up.
I think the trick to that question is it says a very uncommon game.
Yeah.
I
don't buy very uncommon games very often is the problem. I have a hard time relating to the question for myself.
Sometimes they're so uncommon you don't even know what the legit cart's picture looks like.
Yeah.
Like it could be a knockoff and you don't know because you've never seen it.
Could be an old man on the cover.
With a banjo. You're like, what? This can't be legit. What is this?
All right, so next question is from Kevin at Buried on Mars with underscores. When will Buried on Mars be a guest on Dollar Dorks? Please make your answer better than Flock Talk's answer. So my answer is I'll get in contact with you and we'll see.
I know for a fact that Kevin has no time to be on anyone's podcast.
Doesn't matter. He asked. He has to now. He can't do what Joe did and ask and then decline.
But
then Joe accepted later. All right, so Travis of Polykill at Trav Plays Games on Twitter. Do you feel rude? You feel rude price checking something on your phone in front of a seller? I try to be nonchalant about it, but they know. As a seller, do you feel? How do you feel when people thumb through their phones while looking at your wares? So let's start with Steven. What do you think?
It's funny when I do that. I'm not looking at prices. I'm usually going like the last thing I looked up was one of our local shops was getting rid of a bunch of their crappy GBA games, and they were like $2 each or something. I'm like, I gotta look through them all. And I did have the phone out, but that was not to look for prices, but to just see what the game actually was.
I've done that.
Yeah, because like I'll buy random ass games. I love buying random ass games. Once again, this case full of random ass GBA loose games. Like I have a lot of boxed like CIB GBA games, but there's a ton. Like look at this. Like this is the Babar GBA game for $5. That's actually not a bad game. Tonka on the Job GBA, not a bad game.
I do have that complete.
Nice. Dragon Ball GT, kind of a bad game, and it was $10. I don't know what I was thinking. Ninja Turtles double pack. These double packs are neat. 2 games in one. Anyways, what were we talking about? I imagine people would feel that way, but I'm sure everyone's used to it by now.
Fair enough.
I'm sure most people would be more surprised if they didn't, especially if they don't know.
Yeah.
But as real ballers know, we know.
I know I've told people that I'm looking up to see if
need
it's
to
any good while I'm actually looking at the price. Because in a way, the price dictates if it's any good. In a way.
True that.
All right, Thomas, what about you?
Most times if I'm looking at my phone with game, I fairly have like I said, I buy them cheap anyway. So if it's an expensive game, I may look it up, but most times I'm just looking, or I tell them I'm looking at what I've got in the collection, because that's usually what it runs into is like, do I have a copy or 10 of that?
Yep.
Or you're doing the old bank account, like, can I afford this today? Like, that's usually my go-to. And what was the other half of that? How do you feel?
Them doing it to you when you're selling.
I've had people do it to me because I do the flea market thing randomly, sporadically. I'll go out and just sell. And usually when it's like, oh, okay, let me text my friend or whatever crap they want to tell me. I'm like, cool, it's still $30. That's usually how it
comes down to how you priced it. If you already know you priced it good, then you don't need to worry about it.
Which I always do the old, I leave the room. Like if it's a $30 game and all I really want is $25 for it, I'll put it for $35.
Yeah.
I'll let you feel like you won, but that's all I do.
That's become the norm at video game conventions around here.
Yeah.
People just mark everything up $5 because they know someone's gonna haggle. And if they don't haggle, then you get even more for it. So
yeah, that does happen.
All right. Yeah, I have no problem with doing it or having it done. I do try not to do it in front of people and make it obvious, but sometimes I will if I just don't know. I've done it. All right. So next question from Bill of Start to Continue at STC Pod on Twitter. Have you ever got them to give you a better price on items in the showcase at a thrift store? Have you ever confronted them about their crazy prices? Let's start with you, Steven.
That's such a Bill question.
Yes,
I've heard his show. Every episode goes on about that. It's price manipulations.
Price justification. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good luck with that, especially at Value Village.
Yeah, that's what I find too. Is just Value Village is not willing to budge. They have kind of any thrift store around here seems to do it. They just they have it go to the back, and that's where they price it. Is in the back of the back room. Someone else prices it, therefore they can pass blame.
Yeah, the confronted thing is you're the crazy one if you're trying to, especially Value Village. We all know that place is bullshit. The first one though, maybe if it's like a local shop, not like a Value Village, like where they have to just sell whatever the price is. But if it's like people if you know like first name basis, then yeah, I can definitely ask them about that. But even then, that's when I'm hearing a lot more often these days is people are not willing to budge. The best you might be able to do around here is maybe like no tax. Like I know if I have if I'm buying a $10 game and I have a $10 bill, they'll be like, yeah, just give me the $10. That's fine. I'm like, okay,
gotcha.
That's yeah.
Right. Thomas? Thrift stores specifically?
Yeah, like really not in Goodwills and stuff like that because they suck, and I usually stay out of those anyway for that main reason. But all the mom and pop thrift shops around here, like I make it a point to get known by name.
Yeah,
because it usually ends up they're like, oh, well, I got this GameCube game and it says Zelda, so this is obviously a $50 game. And I'll be like, yeah, that's what you saw online, but nobody's paying for it. Oh, there's a scratch right there. It's missing a manual. And then somehow it ends up getting dropped $20 or $30. And like most of the times, if I walk to the counter with games in my hand, they already know the game. They're like, look, what? Just give us $3 a piece, or give us, they already know my game. So
Yeah.
But they're happy you're there and you're buying stuff, right? So
that's the whole thing. Money, and like the main one I hit in town, and you've probably seen it on my videos where I dumpster dive. Like all that money goes strictly to a food shelter right here in town. So they're just like, we're feeding people. We don't care. Like
nice.
Somebody gave it to us. We're making money. Whatever.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's the way some of the bigger thrift stores should be act more often, but not going to happen because they're for profit.
Yeah.
All right,
Play Village, it's not a thrift store. It's just a store. They still have staff to pay and
Yeah.
The thrift part of it is that they get the things for free, and then they pay a donation to cystic fibrosis or whatever other charity for that item.
Have you seen their clothing cubes? They're like a machine, or they just throw a ton of clothes in and it presses them like hay bale style into a cube. And they send those to third world countries.
Huh.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the one I have in town is just they always have that door open, but it's always open and you can see.
Or it could be because it's specifically like a big one or a warehouse main hub.
It's pretty big.
It could
be the job done.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about? Anyway.
All
right, so the next question is from Josh Frantic at Frantic Society. What if Steam or console manufacturers would let you sell back digital games for slightly less credit than you paid? Would you do it? We'll start with you, Steven. I know you like the Steam.
Yeah. Well, like you said before, we usually wait for sales anyways, so we're not spending much in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are games where I've got games that have been out for years and they're still in early access or beta or whatever, and it's like you just feel like they're never going to get anywhere. But I think Steam does a lot of game returns now anyways.
Yeah, there's a time limit, but and you can only play for so long before you can return, or before you can't return anymore.
Yeah, that is an option, but maybe.
What about console games? Kind of like a EB Games or GameStop trade-in program, like they were talking about doing.
Slightly less credit. Well, EB has always done that. They're not as good as they used to be.
Sorry, they're talking about doing a rental thing. I was confusing it, but yeah. Let's say they give you more EB Games or GameStop. That would be nice.
It all depends. Yeah. You know, all like I said, it all depends on the game.
Yeah.
Once again, bringing back the Retro Fandango, they had talked about something similar about games where it's just, I forgot what they said this one. It's been a long day. Well, it's only halfway through the week, but yeah, it all depends on the game and if the deal is good enough. And I'm trying to buy, like these days, especially, I'm trying to just buy things I actually want to play. Like the only thing on my list right now are Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. That's something I want. That's why I bought that controller. Shadow of the Colossus remake. I want that. That's a day one purchase. And Monster Hunter World, of course, because that's going to be a big deal. But aside from that, that's pretty much it. And that's good. Like, we don't need, people are crazy. Now, I'll tell you something real quick, boys, is that this Transformers scene, it moves fast. If you don't buy those toys when they're in stock, you might not see them again. And that's a real problem. And it bugs me because you're like, I didn't go there that one day that Toys R Us actually had stock out, because at the end of that one day, everything sold out. It sucks. But I'm curious
if it's the same way here, but it's got to be. It seems like it's that way everywhere.
It's so bizarre. Like Toys R Us is recently under bankruptcy concern.
They're printing money.
And I'm just like, this sells. Your stock is almost always empty. Walmart right now, there's just nothing. Like Transformers, just nothing. Like this, like it's so obviously a thing that sells, and you don't bring enough in.
It could be what related to what Bill was saying too, though. It could be like the store shelves are rented by the companies, and they don't really make any profit off the actual inventory. You know what I mean?
There's a Hasbro rep that comes every week,
but the Hasbro rep is the one who makes money off it, and they don't want to flood the market, right?
I don't know what they want.
Ask them, and then you ask them for a better deal.
That'd be awesome. I'll do I'll take it off your hands for $20 for this leader class. That'd be a good deal. Good for you. Less to carry back to your Hasbro rep shop. I don't know how that works.
How about you, Thomas? Do you buy any digital games at all, or?
About the only way I'll buy a digital game is usually on Xbox, and it's got to be stupidly priced. Like, when they get really cheap, like a $2.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you hadn't
We're
played
all on
Destiny.
the same page here, I think.
You hadn't paid Destiny yet. Hey, get it for $2. Something like that. Yep. Other than that, like I'd rather hold it in my hand, or I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah, for me it's similar, but so Steam library, I bought way too many Steam games. That's a whole nother topic. There's some that I would clearly sell, especially if I beat them. That'd be great, but I don't beat games, so that pretty much never happens. But with physical games, I like them because I can resell them. That's the reason I try to stick with physical console games if possible. So I don't really buy digital games in app stores at all, like Xbox or anything like that. I haven't yet. I probably will end up doing it with the Switch though, but I'm waiting for a sale. And then all right. And then last question is from Sean, player 1 of the Cartridge Club, Cartridge Bros. When does collecting become hoarding, and when does reselling become scalping? So 2 separate questions. I'll start first. So collecting becomes hoarding, I guess, when it's negatively affecting you and you can't walk around your room anymore, I guess. Blindly buying things or picking up things you don't need. Maybe shit in bad condition is part of it. I don't know. That's a hard one, but that's Steven's the expert. We'll let him answer that. And then when does reselling become scalping? I'd say that's like when you're buying things, probably brand new things, just to flip them and make money off them due to scarcity or whatever else.
Yeah, that's
all right. Thomas, you go. We're gonna save Steven till last on this one.
Oh, the whole scalping thing. I assume it's the same up there as it is down here in the States. Scalping becomes scalping when you let's go to Walmart and they've got 6 of the Nintendo Classics or Super Nintendo Classics, whatever they want to call them, and you buy all 6 of them and you sell them for like $400 a piece. That's scalping. That's scalping. That's how they get. Which, I mean, that's a double-sided sword for me too. Like, if that's the way you make a living and you eat and pay your bills, I can't fault you 100% on it. Yeah, well, you're scalping.
I can't scale me.
It's a scumbag move all day, but
it's the worst people. Worst people.
But what was the other one again?
And then when does collecting become hoarding?
For me, the only really response to that, it becomes hoarding when you quit trying to not really necessarily display it to a degree, but like he's got the tub of Game Boy games, I've got the closet. I know you've probably got something going on. If you don't neatly place it in something and keep it to where it won't just get trashed, maybe we're hoarding. Like this box of junk over here beside me. Maybe that's hoarding. Like, I think there's like 15 Sega Genesis in this one box alone. Do I need that many? No, that's hoarding.
But those ones were you keeping to
do
they go up in value or not?
It's just one of those things where it's like some of them came out of a trash can. I buy bundles and I'm just like, I might paint a shell on one and just display it. I just no reason to keep it. I just can't let it go. I don't know. Maybe I should put it on
as your head twitches.
I don't know. I start getting nervous when I think about getting rid of stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff. I'll help you. I say get rid of some stuff.
I'll send it to you, and then we'll not even make money because of shipping.
Yeah, that's too expensive to ship. I'd be better off driving there. Sadly,
I'll go up to Michigan and send it across the river.
There you go. I'm sure we can find people near you that'll want it.
Oh, I know that.
All right. So Steven, when does collecting become hoarding?
And the other one too. The other one's easier.
I'm starting with this one, but okay, do the other one. When does reselling become scalping?
Well, I think you said it too. Like if you buy it simply to flip it, which is once again a lot of what this reselling thing is all about, and that's what I don't like about it. Is that I don't like this concept of like those games I mentioned, the Zelda 1 and 2 and Mega Man 3. I can easily see people buying those for 20 each and selling them for 40 each, and I think that's bad for all of us. I think, just as society in general, I think we can all live a better life if we just, calm the fuck down and just, leave the things you have already. Like with the, of course, the NES and now SNES Classic, the whole thing about, I bought 10 of them from 5 different sites and I'm going to sell them for 3 times as much. I mean, it's usually pretty obvious when a scalp is happening and reselling. And I think if you've had it for a while and if it's something you're familiar with, like the games you've just owned for years and now you're done with them, like that's when it's just resale. That's when everything's kosher, in my opinion. For collecting, becoming hoarding, it's a trickier thing. All of life really is just a balance. The yin and the yang, the good and the bad. No one can be positive on Twitter all the time. Fuck you, you're a liar. Be negative too. Be an angel and a devil. You know what I'm saying? It's just
equally.
Yeah. And with collecting, I think collecting becomes hoarding when you lose any kind of sense of balance. Like with the Transformers, it's not that I have to have them all. It's just wave 1 of Power of the Primes was 95% awesome. So I bought what was awesome. I left one guy. It bugs me, but he sucks. Rodimus Prime, you're a bad toy and you look ugly and I didn't buy you.
I feel like you're cursing me.
You. Deej. Yeah, I'm pointing at the camera for anyone listening to audio. But yeah, I mean, buy the things you want. If you have the time for them, especially. It's if you don't and you want to get rid of them, I mean, hey, it's always an option. Backups of backups. I mean, it's a thing. If you get a good deal and you're just having fun buying, I think one of the problems, maybe not necessarily a problem, but it's almost like our sense of modern adventure is just the hunt, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
Like, I think we all do that. Like, that's part of the fun. Like you say, diving into dumpsters. I don't personally understand it, but maybe it's a rocking good time. You don't know what's in there. That's the whole fun.
Every bin's mystery box.
There you go.
Oh, it's
the ultimate loot crate. You're literally jumping into the loot.
It's like walking into a thrift store. You know, when you hit that door, you're like, today could be the day. Stadium events could be right there on the shelf. That's kind of how it is. Like, oh, I'm gonna open this can. What's gonna be?
You know that smell is gross, but you know you love it.
That's the biggest deal with it, though. I rarely hit dumpsters that stink.
Well, I meant more for thrift stores, but yeah, dumpsters.
Oh yeah, well,
The thrift store stinks.
that thrift store stank. That's you gotta love that.
Yeah, that's it's like 100 garages and attics and basements all squished together. But yeah, I mean, it's unfair to, like, if we're talking about my place specifically, I do blame the size of the apartment. BC is an extensive province, and I'd love a bigger place. So that's another thing, I suppose. If you're stuck in a certain space, I guess it's, like you said, as long as you can get around the place. But if you feel embarrassed to have someone over, maybe that's gone a bit far. But at the same time, there's so many cool things. It all depends.
Perfect time to have people over is when you have so many cool things.
True
Show
that.
it off.
But then you don't want anyone to touch anything.
That's true. So you need to have people
Exactly.
over you can trust.
Yeah, that's when you go to their place. I'll bring snacks at your place, where we'll have all the fun. My place, no fun. Your place, big fun.
Your place has all the toys to play with, though, man.
No toys here.
No toys.
No toy here. No game here.
I'd get
Your
in trouble
house
and be like, how's this thing
I
work?
see a purple sword beside you. I want to play with it as it is.
Where? I want to play that. Where?
It looks like a sword beside that
This
bunny. No, on the
Bunny?
other side. Other side, right there.
This thing? You know what that is?
Keep going. I don't know what that is. Looks like
Those
Wiimote covers.
Those are 3 rulers.
Oh, no, go keep
I
going.
was
Keep
gonna
going.
do that for
Over
toy
further.
review. Okay, wait. We're
Oh,
going
right
on
there.
a
What is
journey.
that? Oh, it's in front of everything. It
Yeah,
looks
I
like
see
it's
it.
behind you. But it's a
This?
little go move forward towards the camera. Towards the
This?
camera, towards the 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 camera.
This?
Somewhere closer. Yes, that. It looks like a sword behind you. Like a giant awesome sword.
Okay, what we have here is a case of
I
perspective.
figured it out.
This is a sexy third-party Megatron. Look at this guy. This was $105.
Why?
Maybe. I know, right? He's fucking cool as well. And I
He's
ordered
cool,
a.
but it's third party.
I know that. Look, the design though. He's so precious. For anyone listening who has no idea, this is Rioter Despotron from Make Toys. He's a cool dude. That's Megatron, but he's got like extra purple accents and a nice purple sword, which is what sent us on this journey tonight.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
He is front and center.
Where were we again? Hoarding.
Yeah.
I think you covered it. We're good. All right,
Yeah,
let's move on. Suggested content.
No one's ever going to admit they're a hoarder.
Yes, exactly. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Anything you want to suggest to listeners? Check out YouTube channels, videos, podcasts, etc., or games. Even. We start off with Steven.
Okay, real quick. Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and I guess the Switch if you gotta. Best game ever. I keep going back to it, even though I've finished it. I finished DLC 1. I finished DLC 2. There's some shrines left, but regardless, man, what a wondrous game. That's A-Team Nintendo right there. Once I'm done with that, I think I'm done, more or less. Dragon Quest Builders is my recommendation. I've been playing on the PS4. I'm on the last chapter. Cool game. It's also, once again, coming out on the Switch. So if you're one of those people, and it has to be on the Switch, there's another game for your Dragon Quest Builders. And finally, I'd recommend the movie Split. Speaking of Sean P1, I know he actually just mentioned on Twitter that he was watching it today. Excellent movie. M. Night Shyamalan is back. Split. The less you know about it, the better. But especially if you liked M. Night Shyamalan's early movies, you'll especially want to watch this one, but I can't tell you why. Super cool movie. Long story short, it's about these 3 girls who are abducted by a guy. It's like, oh no, he's going to rape us or whatever. But the guy has split personalities, hence the split. And it's interesting because some are nice, some are not so nice.
Spoilers, right?
Not really. That's the movie, but there's more to it. But yeah,
always.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So me, I say go check out Dumpster Marcus on YouTube. I hope I'm not stepping on your toes there, Thomas. I hope you weren't going to say him too. But Dumpster Marcus is youtube.com/user/Dumpster Marcus, and Thomas does a podcast with him, Trash Talk. But he's similar in what he does. Dumpster diving, scrapping, selling on eBay quite a bit, actually. He's got a lot of eBay selling tips.
Tons of it.
No, Thomas, what do you got?
My turn. Well, since I can't talk about Marcus,
you still can.
No, you took the fire out of that one.
I ruined it.
Nah, Dumpster Marcus. I said your name. I know you'll hear it. Dumpster Marcus. There you go. But I have another YouTube channel, and it's a smaller channel, and he was I don't say blowing up. He was killing it last year, and then something happened. And he fell. He had to, I guess, life gets in the way. He quit collecting games. But he's recently come back and started. And I'm only going to suggest this because there's only quality lots this guy gets. And it's Dr. Doge Productions, DOGE Productions. And he just gets solid stuff. He was going for the complete 64 lot boxed, and he was smoking it and killer prices and stuff. But things happened. He had to sell it off. Now he's coming back, and it's just a good time to watch.
Actually, I have one more YouTube one, real quick. I was just thinking for anyone who is somewhat curious about this Transformers business, but really just doesn't, entry level at its finest. I would recommend the channel. It's Thew Adams, aka Toy Grind. That's THEW space ADAMS. He's just this British heavy metal guy, and he just reviews toys, and it's a good channel, and it's fun, and I think you can enjoy it without being right in front of the scene. He's fun for all. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
okay. Right. I'm writing those down to put them in the links in the notes, and also to check out for myself.
Yeah, Toy Grind or Thew Adams. He's on Twitter too.
Cool. All right. So now we're just finishing up. This is where we plug everybody. Bearded Diver. That's Thomas. Check out the Bearded Diver. He's at Bearded Diver 218 on Twitter, or the Bearded Diver on Instagram. He is the co-host of the Trash Talk podcast with Dumpster Marcus, and he's on YouTube as the Bearded Diver. And I didn't double check your Twitter or your YouTube is actually the Bearded Diver. Yes, it is the Bearded Diver. Good.
I do believe it is.
I got it right. Okay, and then Steven is on Twitter as @StevenIder. He is the host of Capmax Gaming on YouTube, the host of Capmax, I spelled that wrong, Hypecast, and Capmax Hype. I got Hypecast there twice. I meant to say Foycast.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
That's a live stream. It's not a podcast.
Okay. Stream. That's okay. All right. And then me. I am Derek of Two Dorks. That's it. TWO Dorks on YouTube. This is where the video will be posted as well. Check out the Cartridge Club, cartridgeclub.org, which is a community of gamers, content creators, collectors, and friends. It is the place where I met Steven.
Yay.
Thank you guys for being on.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Everybody for listening.
I hope we
Much
made some
appreciated.
sense and we aren't too pathetic.
Made dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Uh-oh.
This is the trash cave, if you never knew. Like, there's just the mountains of junk over here. Like, behind the mic there, obviously.
Nice.
Like, this is where games and things go to die. People would probably die to have some of the stuff in this stack.
That's the worst, right? When you know you have cool stuff, but it's just in stacks.
Like,
Yeah,
there's a...
It's like how I know Steven is stacks of cool stuff.
Here's two of the things that I hate that are sitting over here. I don't hate them. I love them, but I hate that they're sitting in here.
Yeah.
Japanese and regular Saturns.
Yeah. People would care for those. But where I was going with that was where the hell were we just talking about? Fuck. My train of thought
Was
went
it-
off.
Was it getting put in?
It was not getting pudding. That's derailing me more.
Would you like another course? Maybe? I don't know.